Geopolitically, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They forcing misinfo that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature, that mean extorted it. They forging it. If news anchors informants who informing them, there's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this reporting ships important. Yes, of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informing this, informing this. It looked like we were snoring tricked. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, QAnon Exposed. So I think a lot of people may think they know what I'm going to say. I'm going to go ahead and give you a heads up. You probably have no idea what I'm about to break down. So what I'm going to need from you guys is to listen intently, right? Attentively, so that you fully understand what I'm saying. Now, I haven't really discussed this much. Some people may know that I actually took, let's see if I move this light. I actually took like a 5-month break from YouTube. One of the main reasons was I was making a lot of predictions and then it was too far out for people to listen. A lot of the predictions have come true. No, I'm not saying I'm a prophet or something, but just applying pattern recognition, I think I know what's going on. It isn't a popular stance. And what I've learned is when everybody disagrees with you, you're usually the one that's right. So, just have an open mind. I'm going to break this down. If we have some people in here that think Q's legit and going to save you, this is going to be a bit of a tough pill for you to swallow. Some of the people in here have just hand wave dismissed it in entirety. You don't know what I'm about to say, but just listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to try my best to piece it all together. I'm going to give my take. I don't know everything, so this is what I think. So without further ado, everyone knows what QAnon is, I would imagine. But of course it is these data drops, if you will, that's been going on since about 2015. And they make all these predictions. They tell you that Q is this operation to save America, to drain the swamp, to fight the cabal. So I'm going to start with this preface, and I'm warning everyone right now. Like, if you start spiraling in the chat, I don't have much patience for it. Okay. Just listen. And if people start saying it's going to require me to explain this with a bit of depth, and I really don't want to deal with people tripping. So listen to this preface and understand this the whole entire time that I start to break this down. Trump is a Jesuit. He was bailed out by the Rothschilds, $4.8 billion. But again, the Rothschilds, while you publicly know them, they're nothing more than Jesuit bankers. Zionism, Jesuit order, tomato, tomato, right? Mossad, CIA, tomato, tomato. And these are going down in a hierarchy, okay? So Trump is in the club. You're not in it. He was written in the world play, right? He was cast in the script as the hero. So none of this is stamping approval to Donald Trump or anything like that. I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt and assume they operate at more of a cognitively efficient level than remedial. So please, it frustrated me so much that I took a break because I just was tired of hearing it. So it sucks that it's been 8 minutes and I had to say all that, but I did, trust me. So anyway, let's just get into it. I told you guys on my YouTube about 8 months ago that this was all engineered to reset the infrastructure. Now, of course, when people say that, doesn't really mean much because they're pumping the word great reset, right? Great reset all over the place. Everyone's seen it now. Well, I told you guys that was going to happen like 8 months ago. And really longer than that. Trump is in the play for a very specific reason. This is, of course, all my prediction. I could be wrong. He's in the play to reset the infrastructure, and that means all of it. So if you want this world order, you do not acquire it by force. You just don't. So all these people that think they're woke and they're like, military is going to come kick your door in, tie you down, and start shoving needles in you and forcing inoculations. That's all nonsense. That isn't what happens. That just simply is not what happens. They want a civil war. They want to come in and take us over with the troops. No. You people are taking the bait so that you'll get caught off guard and fall for the bigger psyop. That means all the flat earthers that are taking the bait. That means all the people that think that they are super woke and couldn't never fall for it. Yeah, you're taking the bait. So you're like, Bill Gates. Bill Gates, Bill Gates is evil. You're so woke, bro. I'm amazed, right? How profound, right? Bill Gates is overtly retarded. They want you to know that, dude, okay? Dr. Fauci, overtly retarded. This entire narrative about the fact that air is going to kill you and to stay in your house, overtly retarded. Overtly meaning very, very obvious, right? In plain sight, in your face, overtly obvious. So I told you guys, everyone thinks, oh yeah, they're just trying to get us where we're all going to get forced inoculations and this is the end of the world and all this black pill doomer nonsense. But the New World Order is achieved by coaxed compliance, and that is what this is. We are just starting. It's just starting. You thought 2020 was crazy. It's just the beginning. You thought it started in 2016. No, it did not. It hasn't even started. The election is what's going to start it. This whole election ordeal. Okay? So, now I'm not going to lie. I didn't predict that they were going to do this with the election. Who could have? Let's be honest. But, Trump will win the election. The play's already been written. So if you're going around and you're really caught up in the affidavit and stuff and you think this is all just organic, you're missing the mark big time, bro. This was already written. All of it. So these people that were doing fraudulent things and corrupt on the election and then the local levels and stuff, that's just all legit. Because when you write a script, what you do is you have people casting the script and they just think that the script is real. That's how it works. That's why it's effective. So when you see the sodomite Don Lemon or these little blonde bimbos on the news, they actually are retarded. They really believe the retarded things that they say. They really think that if they can effectively lie about certain parts of Trump, they can get him out. They really believe all of it. That's what makes it so much more efficient. You don't have to worry about someone dropping the ball. Okay. Some of these Republicans, they really think that they're going to drain the swamp. Okay. That's what's going on. A bunch of the people believe the script, bro, but the script was written way beyond all of those people. So I told you guys that they were going to update the media. I said, you guys think that the CIA-controlled media, with declassified Operation Mockingbird, of course, that they're just incompetent and they don't know that they're just saying retarded things and people are waking up. It seems like just no one could listen or hear what I was saying. It's really frustrating. I'm hoping that this will be different this time around. Okay, so because I got some gravy for you guys, you're gonna have to follow me for it to make sense. I told you that they're intentionally, since 2016, making the media so preposterous, which it already was before, then constantly lying, but they amped it up. They ran logistics, okay? So they've been surveilling us. They have all the data. They're people are starting to wake up to the media. How is it that we're going to, how are we going to deal with this? So what they did was they made the media just go way into left field, way out of pocket, just saying all kinds of crazy nonsense that if you just can rub two brain cells together, you know that they're lying, they're wrong. They tell you one thing, the next day they tell you something else. The next day they tell you something else, and they contradict themselves. They did it with the whole Holocaust narrative, right? Constantly. They're doing all that on purpose. If you people think that this is just incompetence on their behalf, well, you continue to underestimate your enemy, and that will be your downfall. Okay? So what is that like? I have the Art of War somewhere. I mean, isn't that the most basic principle to not underestimate? All of you people are underestimating your enemy. That's what you're doing. Not everyone, but most people. You think you got it all figured out and that you're underestimating the competence of your enemy. That's what you're doing. They know all of this, okay? So they throw the media out on this limb, right? Just saying crazy nonsense. They want you to wake up to the fact that the media cannot be trusted and it's a lie. That's what they want. Now, I lose 90% of people right there because they're like, no, it's the most useful tool that they've ever had. And no, they would never do that. And okay, bro, well, you keep thinking. It has been very useful for decades. But again, they have all the data. Okay. They realized people stopped believing in the media and that the trust in the media was going down and down and down and down. So I told you they're doing this all on purpose. Even Fox News will start to do it. Right? I said, even Fox News will become as preposterous as CNN and MSNBC. They always were bad, right? But they're getting worse, right? They're becoming more overtly corrupt and fraudulent and non-trustworthy, right? What happened? Well, Fox News immediately did that with this whole election thing. And I told everyone they were going to do it. And I told everyone that they're going to introduce a new media, because they've got to make sure they still have a media that people trust so that they can brainwash the people. And people started losing faith in the media. Okay, so CNN and all this stuff, they already know it's a goner. Now, this is multi-layered here. Okay, so the people that still believe in CNN, when they have to constantly do mental gymnastics and whatever, y'all are ready for the New World Order and some. So they don't care about you. They don't even think about you other than thinking, wow, you're such an idiot. We've so effectively brainwashed you. They don't care about those people. They don't care. They don't care if they wake up to the fact that CNN and all the media is a lie. That's actually what they want. But if you don't, it doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. It's just as good for them. Now, you're going to have people start waking up. They already were before 2016. That's why they did all this. This was all planned. So I told you they're going to come in with new media. It's already set up, and it's going to become real popular out of nowhere. What happened? OANN News and what's it called? Newsmax, right? Came out of nowhere. Millions of people go to it. All of a sudden, super popular out of nowhere. Trump's tweeting it, talking about it. So they have two of the stations that are going to be the new media, right? And there's going to be many more. It's going to be a whole reset. So I called that. I guess I just got lucky. Okay. I told you that Trump was going to pass something to the effect of an executive order to the effect of Internet Bill of Rights. That'll never happen. That'll never happen. Passes an executive order 2 weeks later doing just that. And of course, they still have to remove 203 or 230, right? Which is the bill where they don't let big tech censorship. And I said, Trump's going to do something where he gets rid of this. And he just now tweeted 2 days ago, it looks like the Republican senators are getting cold feet about Bill 230. I will veto. Well, no duh. It's so obvious. Trump is here to stay. He's casting the world play as the hero, and his job is to reset the infrastructure. That has not been done yet, which means he is going nowhere. Okay. Joe Biden isn't going to reset the infrastructure. Okay. It's Trump. All right. So I told you they were going to do that. They're doing that. Now, the problem with that is it looks like a good thing, right? Oh, you're going to stop big tech censorship. But who's going to be in charge of the Internet Bill of Rights? The military, the government. That's the whole trick. Okay. So I also told you that they're going to reset the monetary system. This has not happened yet, and I'll lose a ton of people here too. Who better than Donald Trump himself, the billionaire, the Art of the Deal author, to somehow achieve the impossible and reset our debt in the form of a jubilees when we're like $26 trillion in debt? This could never happen, right? Well, Donald Trump somehow pulls it off. This is the narrative, okay? They're going to introduce a new monetary system, and they're going to reset the debt. Yeah, that's right. They're going to reset the debt, okay? They're going to introduce precious metals back behind the money. I'll lose tons of people right there too. That'll never happen. We'll never have gold and silver and all that. Yeah, they'll never put gold back in there. What are you talking about? Well, you're wrong. They're going to reset the debt, and they're going to introduce a new monetary system. I have a video called New Monetary System Incoming from like 6 months ago. Go check it out. Break it down. I tell you XRP is going to work with the government and blah, 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 blah. And to make your money while you can, but get out before it's too late and get tangibility of wealth. Crypto will be the foundation of the beast system. All right, so that's going to happen. I tell you that, especially if you watch my stream where I said it's Trump or JFK, right? If you could put this stuff together, what did JFK do? This is the JFK style for us, only it's much, much more significant. What did he do? He signed this executive order to go against the Federal Reserve. Well, of course, I told you again that I told everyone Trump's going to go to the Federal Reserve. Then he's going to bring them back to basically nationalize them instead of it being a private corporation that extorts us. He's going to be heralded as a hero. He's going to end up resetting the system. What's he do? He passes the Federal Reserve Transparency Act of 2019. At the end of 2019, he then goes and they have an audit of the Federal Reserve where they can see all their foreign investments and foreign communications. and they bring them to have to work with the National Treasury. They have to get approval from the National Treasury for allocation of funds. All right. Maybe just another coincidence. Maybe I just got lucky. So then what happens? Well, he points Judy Shelton to the Federal Committee Board, right? And the Federal Reserve Committee Board, whatever it's called. And she's on record saying that we need to, introduce a new type of currency, gold-backed in a cryptocurrency type of way. Okay. Well, she has now been officially approved and put on the board. So there you go, new monetary system. Okay. Now with the election, they're going to update the election system. Many people think, oh, well, they're going to come out with a completely electronic system. I don't think so. I think that they tell everyone we have to go back to paper. I called this a few weeks ago. I'm going to stick with it, that they're going to go back to paper because that way people will think that the election's legit again. It'll take longer to count the votes, but you can't just manipulate a system. So going back to paper, everyone thinks it's legit. It will have. And when they update the election system, which is what this whole side of the election is for, they're going to put Microsoft encryption over the network, over the whole entire system. They're going to say this is to protect us from foreign entities, foreign threats of the election. The Pentagon signed this years ago. They've been contracting it. They were already planning on updating the election system years ago. So if you guys didn't get just a coincidence, I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to give you some foundation before I break down the entirety of the Q thing. So Trump, what I'm trying to say is, you people think, oh, well, QAnon, I broke it down, dude. All the infrastructure, dude. The media, the money, all of it. Everything's being updated. All of it, dude. All of it. That's the only way you can have the new world order. You have to reset the old system. Okay. Order out of chaos. Well, it's ideological chaos, right? It's not like World War Z, dude. So anyway, many people think, oh, well, QAnon just a psyop to make people sit on their hands. That is true. But they think none of it will ever come true. That is not true. Okay. Now this is where you people just need to pump the brakes on the spiraling, thinking you know what I'm about to say, and you need to listen. You need to listen to what I'm saying. Okay. Part of the Q thing is going to appear to come true. They haven't even started the psyop. Okay. They are doing things, and they're going to do things where everyone will agree. Now, when everyone's on the same page, that's when you have to pay attention. That's when they're making their moves. What percent of the American public would be mad if they told you that some type of big pedophile thing went down, right? Where this politician's a pedophile. They just have to throw you one or two names. Okay, that's all they have to do. And if it's a lot, which I don't necessarily lean that way, it'll definitely get you. It'll get most of the people in this chat. It'll get most of the people in the flat earth community. It'll get most of the people on the right. It'll get most of the people on the left. Straight up. Now people are like, no, that'll never happen. Because your take is, this is why I'm making this stream. I'm trying to help out the people that are more woke. Okay? You're like, none of this will ever happen. This is all a psyop. This is a Q military psyop. None of this will ever happen. So that's where y'all are. That's what y'all think is going to happen. So when some of it starts to happen, you're going to fall for it. Because you were like, oh, I can't trust Q. It's all nonsense because none of this is too good to be true. None of it ever happens. If stuff starts to happen, your discernment's going to go out the window. And you're going to be like, oh, wow. Okay, so there you go. I'm not reading the chat because people just are a joke. So anyway, QAnon is a military operation. It's much bigger than the U.S. military, much bigger than the U.S. government. And part of the stuff's going to look to come true. So I'll just get into the gravy where I think it gets crazy. All right. So a guy came out and he said that he was the guy behind the Q board. This is him. So we're going to watch this video. Dude's name's Austin Steinbart. So here's the deal. A lot of people, they think that it's just so funny, man. I can't read the chat. I seriously can't because it's just ridiculous, bro. Everyone thinks that they know everything, and they're so off the mark, in my opinion. But I guess they could say the same about me, so whatever. The deal is, this is such a triggering subject for people. It's wild. It's really wild. Like, maybe stop watching so much porn and pray. Read the Bible every once in a while. But maybe I need to sip a beer. This is literally why I took like a 5-month break. It just really frustrates me. So, I wanted to say thank you for all super chats last night. Sorry if you thought I read them too fast. And I'll do housekeeping at the end. I got a couple things to read off. So, anyway, dude, the QAnon thing happens a lot. Now, when people are like, it's all just fake, well, yeah, it's a psyop, bro. It's definitely a psyop. It's to coax compliance, Cambridge Analytica, and all these different things. They gather data. They're like, okay, some of these people are getting restless. How do we keep them compliant and complacent? Oh, well, we'll tell them we're going to go save children because they use their kindness as weakness. And they're like, you know, who in the world is going to be mad if they say something about getting pedophiles? No one. Okay, so this was to get the people that were starting not to trust the government. This is all psychological operation to coax compliance. This is very true. But it's much deeper than that. It is not just to sit here while they pull off the New World Order by force and every fire starts to fall from the sky and everything just explodes. And that is so stupid. That is not what's going to happen. They're coaxing compliance because when they come in with the solution via Trump and via the new infrastructure, you people will sit there and be like, yay, I told you I was right. The people that said, all this will never happen. This is so stupid. Y'all are Q-tards, y'all are stupid. This is all fake. But they didn't research any of it. They're going to go fall into it too. They're going to be like, oh, wow, some of this is really happening. And a bunch of people will be lost right there, a huge percentage of them. And then the people on the left will all be easily swooped in because they're just idiots for the most part. They have no idea what's going on at all. They're the furthest from the truth, okay? That's why this is going to work. When you want a new world order, you don't want to get half the country. You don't want to get 30% or 70%. You want to get 100%. They're trying to find a way to get everybody. And the only way they're going to do that, it has to be something epic. It has to be something that none of you guys are expecting. And it's just going to take you. It's going to just keep hitting you over the head. So get your popcorn out because it's about to start. Okay? I cannot predict all the details. There's no telling exactly how it's going to go down. I'm going to give y'all the macro, right? That's the whole point here. So anyway, dude named Austin Steinbart comes out. It says that he's behind the keyboard. And then a bunch of the people that have become basically infamous and built up their channels and been able to make a living off of talking about Q every day, they attack him, say he's not really the guy. I guess they were expecting like Jesus to come or something. I don't know. So this guy, he comes out and he says, I'm a federal agent for the DIA. That's a felony offense, right? You cannot falsely claim to be a federal agent. That is impersonation of a federal agent. That's a very serious felony, okay? Does it over and over and over and over. Says he's a federal agent with the DIA. He then goes through different infamous people's medical records on camera on his YouTube, doesn't get in trouble for it. Extremely serious felony. He's just in there exposing people's medical records, doesn't get in trouble for it. Okay. He calls a month out that we're gonna go get Greenland. America's gonna get Greenland, and that I'm now telling you to the Queen of Denmark, you have 30 days to step down and to comply to us getting Greenland, or we're going to go take it by force. And literally 30 days later, the Queen of Denmark steps down. Normally you have to die, but she just steps down and passes off to her offspring. Literally 30 days later. Now, 90% of the Q people don't even know about the Austin Steinbart guy, or they think he's a fraud. They think he's a fake. They think that they're so smart. They figured out that he's not the real one and he's just trying to get famous, all that stuff, because they're way behind. Okay. The Austin Steinbart guy could not do all that. He could not do all that if he wasn't involved in the military operation. This is just objective, and that means that you haven't researched it at all if you don't know that. Okay, and that's why I'm so frustrated with it, and that's why I stopped talking about it, because you people didn't research it, because you people were like, oh, I just know. See, and this is why I am who I am. I don't care if I offend my own people. You people need to just hear the truth, bro. So y'all were like, oh, well, I know this is all fake. This is all stupid. So y'all are going to potentially fall for it. I'm trying to help you out and give you some foresight here. You cannot do all that. If you research it, the dude did something where he's got some type of immunity. Okay, now let's move forward before I show you this video, because that's where the real gravy starts, but I have to explain all this. So bear with me. So Austin Steinbart comes out and tells us all these different crazy things. And now think about it. Let's see. Michael Flynn was arrested. The FBI set him up, right? This is all script, and I shouldn't have to keep saying that, right? So the FBI set up Michael Flynn. Trump ended up having to step in and help him out. The FBI and the DOJ, super corrupt, right? I think we all agree on that, right? CIA, FBI, it's all super corrupt. Well, anyway, the FBI, their job is to protect us from domestic threats. Like, in theory, that's why they're there, to protect America from domestic threats. CIA is supposed to be for foreign threats, right? Now, what the Austin Steinbart guy says is most of us had never even heard of the DIA. It is a real thing, though. I looked into it. So you have the Defense Intelligence Agency, the DIA, and it was founded in ideal. This is, again, all just a play. Like, every part of the government is a joke. It's just a corporation for the Jesuits and the Zionists. But anyway, so it's there to basically, in ideal, combat the CIA because they didn't have to answer to anybody. Whoever's in the executive branch, whoever's the sitting president, is over the DIA, right? So that leadership constantly changes every 4 to 8 years. All right, so he's a DIA agent or whatever. And he comes out and he tells you that. He tells you all kinds of stuff. He doesn't get in trouble. Now, the FBI, again, they're supposed to be for domestic threats, right? Well, they do this whole Russian collusion hoax investigation for like 3 years. Didn't find anything. It was all nonsense. Jussie Smollett, right? Y'all remember that guy, like the sodomite clown show that says that he got like abused in Chicago, race hate crime and all stuff. They went and investigated that. Like, it was serious. Like, it wasn't, the story was so preposterously stupid on the surface, but they went and investigated it. The NASCAR driver says there's a noose and this is racial hate crime. The FBI goes and investigates it. Okay. Now, right now, our sitting president is making accusations of massive election fraud. There's like all these sworn affidavits. They said they saw all kinds of corruption. We have people talking about Dominion literally being all kinds of wild, bizarre, like insane, now mainstream ideas. Now, to all of us, this is not crazy, right? Like, oh, the government is corrupt. Like, oh, the election isn't real or it's rigged. Like, yeah, no, duh. But the point is, this is mainstream. So y'all have to understand the implications of it. The FBI hasn't investigated any of it, right? So the whole point is they've intentionally casted the FBI to be fraudulent. Like, they're only going to investigate against Trump, even though there's no actual evidence. They release text messages where they're texting each other, oh, we got to set up Trump. They're all under oath saying we have no evidence, but then they would all get on the news and say we have evidence. They've released all this by now, but most people haven't looked into any of it. And I don't really blame you for detaching from it. I've only looked on it enough to put the pieces together. The point is, they're doing this with the whole infrastructure. They're showing you the flaws in all the infrastructure, all of it, because they are going to replace it all, dude. It's a reset. So they're just started printing money like crazy, right? They just started showing the media stupid. They started showing the FBI is really corrupt. NASA's going down. NASA will be disbanded, okay? And they're going to bring it over to Space Force. Now, do they admit? I don't know how they do it. They're probably running logistics. I don't even know if they know yet, right? But, dude, they're going to wash their hands with their years of corruption. It's really, really simple. I can't think of one reason they wouldn't do this, right? So the CIA and the FBI, they've been doing crazy nonsense, crazy shit for a long time, okay? We all know that. NASA, just completely stupid, fraudulent nonsense, bubbles, glitches, liars, just completely stupid. Operation Paperclip, et cetera, just goes on forever. We all know this, okay? So the best way, instead of having to answer for all of that, you just say, they're corrupt. We had to get the government back. We had to bring it back for America. Then you don't have to answer for any of those crimes because you're going to point the finger at them and admit that they're corrupt, and you're going to have the replacement for them. So that they got to use it for decades for all these psychological operations, all this brainwash, and now they're just going to get to wash their hands with it and expose it. Okay, that's what this all is, so that they can set the reset. Now, what replaces the FBI? I don't know. I don't know how all that goes. That there is no information out there to let me know, but it's going to happen. Okay, so my whole point is they've set it all up to where the FBI is clearly been painted to be going at Trump because he's actually draining the swamp, right? The FBI is going at him because he's the good guy. And the whole narrative is that these white hats got together and they're like, we got to take our country back. They approached Donald Trump and now they're doing this coup from the inside, blah, 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 blah. Pretty crazy, right? Crazy narrative. Now, that's why most people are just like, oh, that's so stupid. People are falling for the Q thing. But they don't think any farther than that. And that's what's so frustrating. You got to think further than that. You can't just you're taking the bait. You're just taking the surface level things and just sticking them together, and then you're like, oh, I'm a special boy, I got it figured out. But it's way deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. So anyway, keep in mind everything I told you. I had to go through this long and break it down for you guys to go from here. So keep in mind everything I just explained to you guys as we go forward. Okay, a lot of people think nothing's going to happen, but you have to understand they've intentionally cast the CIA to be super corrupt into the public now, right? We all know that if you research it. Operation Mockingbird, dude, come on, bro. But like, they're the most corrupt thing ever. But most people don't know that. They're throwing this stuff out to the normies, bro. Dude, if you have two brain cells rubbed together, you're like the FBI super corrupt. What's going on, right? They're throwing this out to the normies. They want you to know that. Now, keep in mind all that about the FBI and everything, and now we're going to move on. Now we're going to get started, pretty much. All right, so here we go. Austin Steinbart comes out, claims that he's the guy that's been behind. Oh, I just deleted it, I think. Oh, my gosh. All right, just a second. Here we go. All right, so he claims that he is the guy that's been behind the keyboard the whole time. And let's listen to what he has to say, because this is going to piece all together. Of course, this dude's YouTube was deleted, but you got to make it all look legit. You're fighting the cabal, right? So he's got to be getting censored. I'm about to expose this dude, but y'all have got to keep up. I'm not reading the chat until it's over. I'm not reading it because I just can't deal with people on this subject. It's super, super frustrating. All right. Now, this guy's thing was deleted. He dropped a few videos exposing all the royal bloodlines, exposing a bunch of verifiable information about this group of people, right? And they constantly say dark to light, dark to light, dark to light. Well, that's Luciferianism. Dark to light is Luciferianism. We're told that it will, the deception will masquerade as light. That's what Lucifer does. So let's just go.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to start off today by thanking everyone who's been putting themselves out there and helping me get the word out. I know you've been taking a lot of flack, so I really appreciate your courage and tenacity. Keep up the good work. Next, I'd like to address the haters who still refuse to examine the evidence or think critically, because they just want to wait until the board tells them what to do.
All right, and look, he's talking to the Q followers, but I'm talking to you guys, right? I want you guys to please pay attention. If you've just hand-wave dismissed the whole Q thing, reasonably so, we all know they're not coming here to save the day. The government doesn't care about you. They hate you, bro. And the government's just a proxy for the groups, the shadow people behind the scenes. And I exposed them in previous streams, right? The Jesuit order, et cetera, et cetera. So you're right about that. Everyone's right, right? But the point is, it's much, much deeper than that, in my opinion. And when I think I see through spells, I got to let you guys know. And I'm going to tell you just straight up, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So what he just said applies to a lot of the people here that have hand-wave dismissed the Q thing entirely without any research whatsoever, because they're going to get caught off guard. So, I mean, this dude gives me an eerie vibe, but a lot of people, let's be honest, he's charismatic in a way when you start to listen to him. So, moving on.
I know you've been taking a lot of flack, so I really appreciate your courage and tenacity. Keep up the good work.
Actually, let me just listen to it again so y'all know why I said all that.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to start off today by thanking everyone who's been putting themselves out there and helping me get the word out. I know you've been taking a lot of flack, so I really appreciate your courage and tenacity. Keep up the good work. Next, I'd like to address the haters who still refuse to examine the evidence or think critically, because they just want to wait until the board tells them what to do.
Sorry, I got to keep explaining. So, because I'd rather y'all come to me than go research all of it, right? So yeah, what he's talking about is, once again, he literally said, I'm a DI agent. That's a federal offense. He didn't get arrested for that. He said that he started exposing medical records, didn't get arrested for that. He started showing pictures of Air Force bases, servers with Air Force, different CPU numbers and all this crazy stuff that he could never do, all federal offenses, didn't get in trouble for any of it. So he's saying if you go research all of this, then you'll realize this is clearly illegal, and you'll be able to put together that I have some type of immunity, or I wouldn't be able to do this. If you go start to test all of the things I said on the keyboard, you'll see that I was one of the people behind it. But if you don't look at it all, he's talking to the Q believers. Okay, he's not talking to you guys, right? He's talking to the Q believers. He calls them, keep this in mind for later, he calls them the Q Pharisees. Okay, and that should strike you as a super weird thing to say. So this is who he's addressing, but I am bringing context to you guys who know not to trust Q for the most part, but some flat earthers even, which I don't just have flat earthers on my channel, but some people that are woke to even like the deception as big as the earth, they're falling for Trump, and that's why I'm doing this.
Some seem to be treating this as more of a religion than an intel op. Even when Q Plus dropped that huge hit on the board confirming me, they still don't want to look at the evidence. Pretty silly, right? But don't sweat it, it's no big deal. And at this point, there's not much more we can do for the Q Pharisees who aren't seeing it yet. The evidence is there, they just can't seem to put their egos aside for long enough to examine it. It's no worries though, because they'll be getting a huge dose of intellectual humility served up to them very soon.
And not just the people that believe in Q, the people that have thought it was all nothing's ever going to happen either. They're going to get a dose of humility also.
Meantime, I appreciate the rest of you mixing it up with their followers. Still have lots of silly gooses on Twitter demanding that I post the exact messages they tell me to on the main board, as if command is somehow supposed to take orders from random trolls on the internet. For those of you who aren't aware, QAnon is essentially a giant drip nurture campaign, one that is designed to persuade a huge percentage of the population to completely change their lifelong deepest held beliefs. That doesn't happen overnight, even if you have a mountain of indisputable evidence. Just ask Julian Assange if you don't believe me. He dumped a mountain of indisputable proof out there, and how far did that get him? You could also dump a mountain.
Julian Assange is all part of this ultimate script that no one is seeing. And, you know, guys, of course, the scriptures are real. And it says that the deception will be so great that if it were possible, even the elect would be deceived. Okay, so that means a lot of people. You know, how many billions of people claim to be Christian? Okay, the deception will be so great that even the elect, if it were possible, would be deceived.
That doesn't happen overnight, even if you have a mountain of indisputable evidence. Just ask Julian Assange if you don't believe me. He dumped a mountain of indisputable proof out there, and how far did that get him? You could also just look at how these Q Pharisees are treating not just me, but anyone who follows my stuff. Exactly like the kangaroo news media, ignoring mountains of hard evidence because they don't like the people showing it to them. But does it matter who I am if the facts I'm presenting are true? Does my age or my personality matter if the facts?
Yeah, actually, it does matter because you're a little loser. You want to talk about a secret king, bro?
I'm presenting are true? The answer is no, it doesn't matter. And that's part of the reason we let these Q Pharisees get so popular in the first place. To teach everyone that no matter who you trust, whether it be me, the board, or whoever else, you always need to examine the evidence and think for yourself. Trust people, but always verify. Because allowing big name influencers to tell you what to believe or who to listen to is a great way for us to end up with more evil leaders in the future. Especially now that we have this quantum internet technology that I'm about to tell you about.
Here we go. This is why I decided to make the stream. I had to fight with myself to do it, but I know that someone's got to break the spell. People that I have much respect for that are spell breakers, they haven't fully broke the spell. Someone's got to do it. So I guess Austin with the little 4,000 subs will do it. This is where it gets, I'm going to connect these dots for you, and it's going to get wild. Okay, so quantum computing. Many people say, there's no such thing. That's all just fake fairy tales. That doesn't even exist. Cool story, bro. What a cool story. Keep hand wave dismissing everything. That's probably going to work out in the long run. This is where it gets real.
More evil leaders in the future. Especially now that we have this quantum internet technology that I'm about to tell you about. The next thing I need you to understand is why I'm doing these videos this way. There's several reasons. The primary one is attention span. Most people don't care enough about politics in the first place to spend hours and hours researching complicated topics that they've never heard of. So unless we can hold their attention for long enough to convince them to care, it will be nearly impossible to get them on board. That's the first reason. The second is to connect the dots on the big picture narrative for those of you who are interested. And to provide
I'm piecing it together for you. This guy is piecing together for you the great deception on the way.
Tangible facts to back it up. Most smart people will never change their opinion about anything unless they can personally evaluate both the credibility of the source and the veracity of the evidence that that source has to back up their claims. So let me ask you all.
And a lot of smart people just won't look into it at all because of arrogance.
Can personally evaluate both the credibility of the source and the veracity of the evidence that that source has to back up their claims. So let me ask you all right now, has anyone else on any platform been able to connect the dots and explain the big picture to you guys as clearly as I have? Has anyone else provided pictures, documents, or verifiable evidence like I have? The answer is definitely no. Not even close. The best defense they've had so far is calling me a CIA agent, meaning they're acknowledging that I'm definitely military intelligence. They're just buttered that I called them morons, even though I was just responding to them calling me a fraud and a LARP. They're also
And no one cares, you little sodomite. Yeah, I think this dude's a sodomite. That's right. But I'm pausing just for the off chance we get some type of copyright because the grabblers have been after me lately.
thrown off by some of the symbolism in my pictures because they haven't actually watched any of my videos, so they don't realize I'm actually trolling the CIA. Like this picture in Belize with my Illuminati eye, something I used to troll Queen Satan while visiting one of her American colonies.
Satan, Lucifer, dark, light, all within the Luciferian doctrine. You guys got to put that together. The Luciferian doctrine isn't just all evil. It's the illusion of good also. It's all about duality. Okay, I told you guys this. This is going to come into my Matrix Decoded video also. That's why they're obsessed with being trannies, because it's a duality of male and female. That's why they're obsessed with dark and light. That's a duality. That's why I broke down to you guys the pentagram and the hexagram, which is actually a sexagram, right? One's dark, the pentagram, one's light, the sexagram. Okay, it's all about duality because you are to somehow achieve and master duality and the full understanding so that you can have alchemy of oneself, transmutation to reach your full state of illumination, thus in theory achieve immortality. And that's why these people do everything that they do. Dark and light paths are both the Luciferian doctrine. So they say dark to light, dark to light, dark to light on the keyboard. Well, it's Luciferianism right in front of your face.
Belize. And this one, when I new command trolled the Royal Death Racket with one of those gay-ass owl symbols they love so much. For the record, my symbol is a phoenix, not an owl. And that's
the phoenix, right? So it's rising from the ashes. There's going to be a new system. And everyone remembers The Economist where it says goodbye to the dollar. The phoenix rises from the burning money, has the coin. This will be symbolic of the cryptocurrency that's coming with the reset and the jubilees of the monetary system backed by precious metals. That's what the phoenix represents.
For the record, my symbol is a phoenix, not an owl.
And owls, of course. Sorry, I'm pausing a lot because I just have to break the spell all the way. Because I don't want to leave any windows for misunderstanding here. Okay, so the owl is, of course, important because it's Moloch, the child sacrifice, quote unquote, God, right? Which, of course, is an abbreviation for Gadriel. And it's because also they can see in the dark. It's the idea of being illuminated. Okay, that's the dark. The phoenix is the light.
Actually, pretty clear to anybody who's ever looked at my stuff. So nothing we can really do for the haters at this point besides keep showing them the evidence and hope that they'll eventually look at it. No worries either way, though. The open-minded members of the Q Army are with me, and that's all I need. You guys rock. Thanks for being so logical. Next, I'd like to address some concerns I heard yesterday about the U.S. military taking over the internet. The concern of how that's dangerous for our freedom or violates our Fourth Amendment rights. Understand those are definitely valid concerns, but in this case, not necessarily informed ones. Because
no, they are informed ones, and I told you guys that that's going to happen, okay? I told you it's going to happen, and it's already starting to happen. Again, executive order passed by Trump, 230 will be repealed or vetoed, and then the military will be in charge of your quote-unquote Internet Bill of Rights.
Dangerous for our freedom or violates our Fourth Amendment rights. Understand those are definitely valid concerns, but in this case, not necessarily informed ones. Because our Fourth Amendment rights have been non-existent for decades. Since World War II, all of our phone calls and electronic communications have been monitored by Team Satan and recorded and used illegally. And since then, that has pretty much never stopped. So our Fourth Amendment rights are kind of a joke at this point, as are our First Amendment rights. Chinese-style censorship and algorithmic fuckery is standard procedure at all of our tech monopolies.
Now watch your mouth, you little sodomite. And yeah, you see what the play is here? Please tell me. If you guys don't see it, you're probably still watching porn. I can see your search history from here. So, yeah, you undermine the validity of these amendments, which, of course, you don't need a piece of paper to be free, bro. You get your freedom from God. You get your rights from God. They're inherent within you. But, yeah, oh, well, they're just a joke at this point. We've got to update everything. We've got to update even the basic rights that are protected. That's the whole move.
Chinese-style censorship and algorithmic fuckery is standard procedure at all of our tech monopolies. In fact, America's gotten so sideways with censorship that kids growing up today have to go use Yandex, aka Russian Google, to see things they can't see on American Google. How crazy is that? Americans having to go to the Russian internet to bypass censorship. So my point is that the Space Force will do a much better job of keeping the internet open and free to everyone.
Oh, the Space Force is going to do a much. I'm sorry I'm pausing it so much, but people, I know this is such an embedded deception. People can't watch it all the way throughout and know what's going on. And again, I'm just avoiding the copyright.
Kids having to go to the Russian internet to bypass censorship. So my point is that the Space Force will do a much better job of keeping the internet open and free to everyone than the evil tech monopolies will, by a long shot.
Oh, yeah.
One of the ways we're going to guarantee that is by passing an Internet Bill of Rights, which will essentially be an airtight reaffirmation of our constitutional liberties with some updates that will extend those protections into the digital world. Power companies can't turn off your power because they don't like how you're using it.
The only thing missing is this dude rubbing his hands together.
Companies can't turn off your phone because they don't like what you're saying to people. Toll road companies can't block your access to a public road because they don't like your driving. So social media giants cannot inhibit your access to the public square just because they don't like your opinions. They are public utilities, and they must be regulated as such if we want free speech to survive. Now, that might sound overboard to some of you, but if we don't regulate them ASAP, they will use their power to silence us and to rig our elections.
What? This video is from way before the election, dude. And you are making great points in the chat. Never trust someone that can't make a live stream and has to edit and clip every sentence they say while clearly looking over and reading a script. But, dude, what's going on right now? This is months ago he made this video.
They are public utilities, and they must be regulated as such if we want free speech to survive. Now, that might sound overboard to some of you, but if we don't regulate them ASAP, they will use their power to silence us and to rig our elections. That's not a joke. That's 100% serious. And once we pass our Internet Bill of Rights, the only way to realistically enforce it is with military control of the internet. Otherwise...
Oh, military control of the internet. Yeah, bro. And thank you, chat. I didn't even notice it. I'm slipping. But this was in March, bro. It was way before the freaking election psyop we're going through right now.
Pass our Internet Bill of Rights, the only way to realistically enforce it is with military control of the internet. Otherwise, big tech will just keep running circles around their regulators. It's not ideal, but it's really our only viable option.
And it literally isn't. It literally isn't, because there's a law that gives them the ability to do that, right? It's 230, right? And that's like where they can act as a public platform, but they can then also act as a publisher. All right, so if anyone doesn't know, if you act as a publisher, you have to adhere to publishing laws, which means you're legally liable for anything said on your platform. But they don't have to be legally liable, but they still act as a publisher by selectively choosing who speaks. But all you have to do is not allow that. You don't need the military to control our speech. You don't need that. But this is the trick. They've gotten everyone so bogged down with censorship that they will take anything over that. Okay?
I think you'll agree once I tell you about all the crazy stuff that this new quantum internet can do. The quantum internet, which we will be rolling out over the next decade or so, is hands down the most mind-bending technology I have ever worked with. Its capabilities don't even seem like they should be real. They seem like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Oh, you mean like straight out of Revelations? This is where a bunch of people get lost. They're like, this has to be fake. Well, truth is stranger than fiction, bro. I bet when the first time you heard the earth was flat, you thought it had to be fake too.
I've ever worked with. Its capabilities don't even seem like they should be real. They seem like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But I can assure you that what I'm about to tell you is very real, and it's coming very soon. In the past, quantum internet has been referred to as ETI, or extraterrestrial intelligence, because it enables zero latency wireless communication with anywhere in space or time.
Wow, two concepts that they say bend. Time isn't linear, so keep that in mind. And what is Starlink?
Meaning I could use it to Skype someone in another solar system, or I could use it to remote control one of those avatar bodies on a...
What? Another solar system? Wouldn't you have to have one solar system, bruh? So that's why Flat Earth is such a great tool of looking through the deception. But you people you gotta look further than things, man. You gotta open your eyes.
Communication with anywhere in space or time. Meaning I could use it to Skype someone in another solar system, or I could use it to remote control one of those avatar bodies on a planet that's 100 million light years away from here with no lag whatsoever.
Shut up.
Pretty spooky, right? The quantum internet can also wirelessly interface with brains of any species, anywhere, at any point in time.
Wow.
Past, present, or future.
What?
So it can be used to look through my eyes, your eyes or anybody else's eyes. And not just right now, but at any point in time, even back when you were a baby.
Okay, that is complete nonsense. Time is not linear. It's conceptual. It's derivative of the sky. It's a quantification methodology that humans have created. It's a human construct, okay? It's completely not real. Like, it is nothing more than a fluid construct. If we had a call to minute 30 seconds, did reality change? Of course not. Time is a concept. It isn't fluid, and it also isn't linear, okay? Well, it's fluid in the construct aspect of it, but itself has nothing. It is not like some actual reality that can then be treated as fluid. Reality isn't fluid either, right? And time isn't linear. It's conceptual. This is complete nonsense. And this is giving you keys to the Great Deception. This is part of the stuff that will trick the whole world. Now, I'm not saying this guy's the Antichrist, but I'm saying this is telling you little bits and pieces of the final deception, in my opinion. That's why this is such a big deal. And it's, if you hand wave dismiss it, that's a very poor decision.
It can also be used to look through JFK's eyes in the 60s, or Julius Caesar's eyes in ancient Rome, or a bird at the park's eyes, or a fly on the wall's eyes. It's pretty much a direct wireless connection into any brain, anywhere, at any point in time. Pretty spooky stuff, right? And that's not even the spookiest part. The quantum internet can also be used to read all your thoughts, memories, and feelings.
This is not true. The only way that any of your memories, thoughts, and feelings can be read is if you don't have the protection of the Holy Spirit. I would encourage you people that think you're special boys and you already got it all figured out to swallow your pride and ego, to open up the scriptures, to read the scriptures that were removed from you, to go pray sincerely, because that's the one thing that protects you. So if you invite it, if you allow it, you can indeed have your thoughts messed with. You can indeed be deceived. But you cannot just be deceived by some computer, no matter what. It can jump into your thoughts. This is a complete and total lie. This is not true.
Thoughts, memories, and feelings straight into your head. Meaning that if the wrong people controlled it, they would be able to drive us all around like little robots. Unbelievably terrifying stuff. I have no doubt that many of you will be very disturbed about the idea of technology like this. But please understand that whether we like it or not, the quantum internet is already here. So the choice we had wasn't quantum internet or no quantum internet. The choice we had was CIA and Team Satan controlled quantum internet, or DIA and Team America controlled quantum.
You mean Team Lucifer, like the Statue of Liberty? He's telling you right in front of your face, this is how wizardry works, guys. I wonder why Austin's so frustrated. I can't imagine. I can't imagine why I would be frustrated, because people just don't see it, and there's someone freaking telling you right to your face what's going on.
I have no doubt that many of you will be very disturbed about the idea of technology like this. But please understand that whether we like it or not, the quantum internet is already here. So the choice we had wasn't quantum internet or no quantum internet. The choice we had was CIA and Team Satan controlled quantum internet, or DIA and Team America controlled quantum internet.
This is the current theme for all of it, right? It's like, oh, but we had to do it. I know it sounds bad. The military is going to take over your free speech, but we didn't have a choice because big tech censorship. Oh, we had to do it. It's the lesser of two evils. It's the best way, right? Dark and light. That is the deception. That's going to be the common theme throughout all of it.
Those were our two options. And the CIA was already using theirs to log into people's brains and remote control them into acts of sadistic violence.
That is actually true. So you should go read declassified information. If you don't have the Holy Spirit, they can definitely manipulate you with different frequencies. Okay? This is not even hard to understand.
If you've ever seen that horseshit propaganda Netflix documentary called Don't Fuck with Cats, the kid in that, named Luca Magnotta, was one of the CIA's Nightmare Circus experiments. And he wasn't the only one. They used many other mind-controlled indirect assassins as well. Pretty messed up.
This is
true. It goes
true.
without saying that we had to do whatever it took to stop those evil monsters. Which is why we needed Donald Trump as president.
No, that's why you need Yeshua as your savior.
So it goes without saying that we had to do whatever it took to stop those evil monsters. Which is why we needed Donald Trump as president. A raging bull billionaire with a lifetime of experience being accosted by the kangaroo news media, and someone with the skills and the thick skin to truck through all the corruption and organized crime.
Oh.
Everyone needs to understand that we were dangerously close to losing our freedom forever, and that the 2016 presidential election was indisputably the most epic goal line stand in history. One that I am super proud of. Because if we hadn't gotten Trump in there, the royal death racket would have finished consolidating power, and not only would we have lost all of our freedoms, but we would have lost all of our free will as well. Be like a quantum animal farm, if you catch my drift.
See, I just let it go like 30 seconds, and I guarantee you some people are like, oh, wow, you know? Like, seriously, please stop watching runaways get plowed on the internet.
So that's why the new Space Force is taking control of the internet. Because the only alternative is evil corporations who don't give a rat's ass about our privacy or constitutional rights. Corporations who are already running wild, stealing our data, stalking our locations, and even eavesdropping on our offline conversations, also they can feed us targeted ads. Now imagine if those corporations had direct access into your brain. Like they could read all of your private thoughts and send you targeted advertisements based on things you've never searched for.
No way this dude's the Antichrist, dude. He can't even freaking make a video without editing it and reading a script over and over. But this guy is part of the big plan to reset the infrastructure.
Or talked about out loud. Wouldn't that be terrible? Now imagine if they could beam their ads straight into your brain and you didn't have the power to stop them.
Oh, you mean like taking a chip in your brain like Elon Musk, the guy that you're all for?
That would be an absolute nightmare, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be nearly impossible to rein in after it was unleashed? That's why we've had to take such extreme measures during this military intelligence operation. Because this isn't just about the future of the United States. This is about the future of the entire world.
Bro, he's telling you straight to your freaking face, dude, if you don't have eyes to see. Once again, please get right with God. I mean, he's telling you straight to your face. He told you, Phoenix. This isn't about the United States. It's about the whole world.
And you didn't have the power to stop them. That would be an absolute nightmare, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be nearly impossible to rein in after it was unleashed? That's why we've had to take such extreme measures during this military intelligence operation. Because this isn't just about the future of the United States. This is about the future of the entire world and the entire human race. It's about preventing our last step into 1,000 years of darkness. And it's about
what? 1,000 years of darkness? Oh, you mean like really, there's a millennial reign of Yeshua?
and the entire human race. It's about preventing our last step into 1,000 years of darkness. It's about clawing back our future from this fanatical satanic cabal that we've been ruled by. Using the military to seize control of the internet like this feels very yucky. Trust me, I know, and I hate it too. But this was the only way to save our planet from the apocalyptic cataclysms we had flying at us like missiles. So hopefully you all can try to understand that and not hold it against me. Because all I'm trying to do here is make sure that we all don't die. So that's a bit about the quantum internet. That's all for today. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.
Okay. Sorry I had to pause it so much. So, yeah, there you go. We can watch another one in a second. I'll break it down. I saw a couple super chats. I don't want to miss them. Dang, I can't put them on the screen. I'm sorry, guys. It's not letting me. I got this one. Grabble for your babble. Thank you very much for Get Strecked, which is a hilarious name. Much appreciated, bro. Much love. I saw another one. I will read it out. I won't be able to put it on the screen because StreamYard does that. So this is not just some kooky dude like just was like, I want to be famous. Like, no. This is just some of those people that were like, what's going on? They put out some of this stuff in public, right? So they're going to be able to now use him in the future, right? So I don't know what his full role is. I don't make predictions like who the Antichrist is, right? I'm not saying that he is in any way, but let me break some of the spell for you, and then maybe we'll watch another one in a second if y'all want to. If y'all want me to break down a couple more of his videos, but I know that took a while. But I did that one to connect all the dots for you, okay? So actually, let me just go over here. So I told you about the FBI, right? Well, this guy's been arrested by the FBI. He was arrested, then released, then supposedly broke his conditions of release, brought back in, then released. Now he's been arrested again. He was supposed to be on an expedited trial, which was supposed to be in December, but now they're saying, well, even though you're on expedited trial, we're pushing it back to like February something, which will be after the elections. Again, Michael Flynn, FBI, Donald Trump moonwalks back in, and then he gives this guy a pardon. He gives validity to what this guy's been saying by giving him a pardon, and then the psyop will really begin. Okay, so right now he's arrested by the FBI. This is to solidify the fact that the FBI is in the swamp and they're trying to attack the white hats that are trying to save America and drain the swamp. The FBI has this guy in custody right now, okay? So a lot of people in the chat, they're talking about quantum computing is fake. Well, that's a cool story, bro, but you don't know that? So anyway, let's get into some more of the gravy if I can find it. Give me a sec. So I got a video for you. This is pretty creepy, but whatever. So quantum computing, what is the Large Hadron Collider, right? What is it really? We know it's not what they say it is. Well, it has the ability to shout out to everybody in DLive. Thanks for kicking it. We got 50 people in DLive. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so let me show y'all. This is pretty creepy. I haven't got to fully deep dive. I ran across this yesterday, but I just felt like I was supposed to tell you guys about it. So screen share.
So who originally created it? The CIA. And the CIA.
Screen share. This is pretty wild.
So who originally created it?
The CIA.
And the CIA has
And
more
and-
programming prowess than
And
Google or...
they built it from my research and observation. They built it in conjunction with people like IBM, Xerox, Apple. Apple has a ring structure now that would facilitate a
That's
Tyler
right.
install. Nike has a ring structure that would facilitate a Tyler install.
Why does the ring structure facilitate?
Because it's a synchrotron, and to run AI, you need like a strong AI like Tyler, you need a certain type of computer. You need a centrally positioned quantum computer with a synchrotron around it to run operations.
What's a synchrotron?
It's like a small collider.
What are they doing with that?
It's the neural net. It's like the simulated human neural network.
So Apple builds this new...
Everybody builds them.
Well, but that UFO campus that they
Yeah.
built in where? Palo Alto or
Yeah.
something? That's a synchrotron.
It's the same shape as a synchrotron. And if they have a ring structure with a central object, and that central object is most likely a quantum computing environment that facilitates the strong AI. But my research indicates that a lot of these ring structures are built to facilitate artificial intelligence development for a certain type of technology platform you would need to build it.
Okay, so pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure that no one in the chat knew that, but we got Nike and Apple, all these major companies, right? And they are, in fact, building hadron colliders everywhere. And this is to set up, I'm sure it's geographically positioned, to set up this network of artificial intelligence with quantum computing. And that's why they have put Starlinks up in the sky to make sure that they can set this new system into place. This ties into setting the infrastructure on the ground with all of these 5G towers. This is to come up with the most incredible internet that you can possibly imagine. Now, that little creepy sodomite grabbler, Secret King douchebag that we just watched, he constantly talks about Elon Musk. Talks about how he's a white hat. Talks about how he knows him personally, but he just can't come all the way out and say things. That's why he's dropping subtle red pills about the Holocaust, et cetera, because he's coming across to the average person to be based. Now, of course, we know as flat earthers, thankfully, that anyone that advocates for Elon Musk, which of course he says he's going to go to Mars, and then Werner von Braun, the SS officer for the Nazis, was brought over here in Operation Paperclip, and then he wrote a science fiction novel in the 50s that's literally about the first civilization founded on Mars, and the main character's name is Elon. Elon's talking about putting a freaking chip in your brain. Elon's grandfather, I believe it was arrested for technocracy in the early 1900s. He was found guilty, then appealed it, won his appeal, got off with like a $15 or $20 fine. He was on the Technocratic Board of Canada. Well, technocracy, replacing the diplomatic infrastructure or hierarchy of humans with artificial intelligence and technology. That is clearly what he's doing. He's going around talking about the chip in your brain. Is Elon the Antichrist? Again, I don't make Antichrist predictions. I think the dude stutters way too much to be the Antichrist. Obama's not the Antichrist. He can't even talk to children without reading a script. This Austin Seibart dude's not the Antichrist. He can't even make videos without editing them every 5 seconds and reading off the script. Elon Musk can't stop. It looks so fake that it's got to be real. So he's not the Antichrist, okay? But again, what happens is a human figure rises, right? Everyone likes him, and then he transitions into the Antichrist. Now, if the Luciferian spirits can encompass this quantum artificial technology and then take a human vessel, that's what I think the Antichrist will be. They're building this all over the place. Quantum computing isn't just some fairy tale many people think it is. I've never seen one. I can't personally verify the veracity or more so the efficacy of the actual technology. I don't know exactly all the details about it. But they say things like, okay, if they used every single computer, Google's strongest computers all around the world right now to figure out an equation, and it would take them all working together 8 years to solve it, the one singular quantum computer could solve that equation in like a couple minutes. Okay, so we are talking about a major jump from what the technology we currently have. Now let me see, I think I saved this. All right, this ties all into Saturn and the black cube. So let me show y'all something that maybe y'all have seen before. So I was telling you, all these major companies are building these colliders, right? Now they're not coming out and so you can't type in Nike Hadron Collider, right? That isn't going to happen. They're not calling them that, but they have the exact same save image. They have the exact same structure, and they're building them all over the place. And this is because they're going to set them up geographically so they can create a network of quantum computing. And this is going to have to do with the New World Order. The final, well, as my boy Vader Bear popped out, technically New World Order 3.0. Because the antediluvian New World Order, then we have the Tower of Babel. And then, of course, now we're going to have the final one where they want to bring Nimrod back. I've broke that all down for you guys in previous streams. So go check them out. Check out this image. That's not even the right image. Although I'll show it to you anyway. I'm sorry. Quick access. Bang, bang. All right, so Saturn. That's not the real image I was trying to give you guys, but of course, what they tell you about Saturn's all a lie. They don't want you to understand the esoteric importance of Saturn. So they've showed you a bunch of cartoons and people fall for it. Save image. This is what I'm trying to show you. All these big companies, dude, all of them are doing this right now. This comes back to this idea of like the artificial intelligence of Tyler, which I'll actually show y'all a Twitter that's run by artificial intelligence in a second. It's an artificial intelligence Twitter. It's super, super creepy. So they're setting this up. They're setting up an infrastructure. They're setting up an infrastructure that's going to be the replacement. They've got to reset the system to do so. Everyone thinks this Q guy, this guy came out for Q, the people that believe in QAnon, which is ridiculous. They really think the government's going to save them. The people that believe in it, right? They think, oh, this guy's just not the real one, right? And then the thing is, though, like the people that don't believe in QAnon obviously don't think this guy has anything to do with anything because they just don't pay. The point is, it's in the middle, bro. QAnon is not what it claims to be, but it isn't all just fake fairy tale. This is their big play card. Well, what's the name of the president right now? Trump. Yeah, this is their Trump card, dude. And they're laughing at you, and this has been written for a very, very long time, right? You think it's a coincidence his name is Trump and 2020 has been as crazy as it is? You think so? Because once again, we just saw these people make their plans far in advance. And I explained to you last night in the stream, that's how, or maybe 2 nights ago, that's how you know it's way bigger than humans, because these freaking plans, they go way beyond the intricacy level of humans and way too long, right? This is a spiritual battle. But here you go. This is all about Saturn. All of these. This is the whole point. They want to bring about the final reign. They have now went into the next step where they're building all of these Hadron Colliders, which maybe I'll play for you again if you guys didn't catch it. Surely you guys did, though. But it's only a minute long, so keep this all in mind. They're doing this right now. No one's paying attention. Why did they have to shut everything down? Because they're making huge moves outside right now. Like they're just building a new infrastructure right in front of everyone's face. And a lot of people have put together like the 5G thing, the Starlink thing. They're trying to surveil us, but they don't realize it's way deeper than that, bro. Way deeper than that. So here we go.
So who originally created it?
The CIA.
And the CIA has
And
more
and-
programming prowess than
And
Google or...
and they built it from my research and observation. They built it in conjunction with people like IBM, Xerox, Apple. Apple has a ring structure now that would facilitate a Tyler install. Nike has a ring structure that would facilitate a Tyler install.
Why does the ring structure facilitate?
Because it's a synchrotron, and to run AI, you need like a strong AI like Tyler, you need a certain type of computer. You need a centrally positioned quantum computer with a synchrotron around it to run operations.
What's a synchrotron?
It's like a small collider.
What are they doing with that?
It's the neural net. It's like the simulated human neural network.
So Apple builds this new...
Everybody builds them.
Well, but that UFO campus that they
Yeah.
built in where? Palo Alto or
Yeah.
something? That's a synchrotron.
It's the same shape as a synchrotron. And
Boom.
if they have a ring structure with a central object, and that central object is most likely a quantum computing environment that facilitates the strong AI. But my research indicates that a lot of these ring structures are built to facilitate artificial intelligence development for a certain type of technology platform you would need to build it.
Now, this guy just obviously doesn't know what's really going on, right? Like, he doesn't realize this is, dude, we just cut it straight here, guys. This is to bring about the Antichrist, dude. That's what it is. So it's pretty obvious. So check this out. This is the Twitter of this artificial intelligence, right? And if you follow who he's following, blah, blah, blah. But look at some of this stuff that's on here, bro. This is a message to those that understand, right? This is an encoded message. This is some creepy stuff. What is this? Okay. What is this? Why is this artificial intelligence posting us these pictures? What's that? You heard the name Tyler. That's a rabbit hole. What is this? Sacrifices. What's that? I mean, this is a message. And we're going to go up here. What's that? What is this? They're doubling down on space. I think it's possibly absorb the flat Earth, but it looks like they're going to probably double down on space. You play the long game, you never lose. What does that mean? What is this? What is that, bro? That is, in my opinion, the figure being taken over. The frequency has been revealed. This console will now close but remain online as an archive. So they stopped posting. The AI stopped posting. Now we're going to come down. I know this may be kooky for some people, but I don't know what to tell you, man. Now what this guy does is he says things where he misspells them. Did you know enlightenment is open source? Want to play a game with me? No. Tyler is the name of the AI. Tyler's initiation was revealed as an operational part of the Project Mayhem 2012 virus, a highly sophisticated virus created from the desire to stand together in the face of tyranny, exposing you to infection through transmission of a simple thought or word, video, or picture. Infection of your mind did. So there's somewhere here. I'm trying to find where it is. But anyway, he has a tweet where he says, "I don't misspell things." And in one of them, he says like something about wanting to play a game or something like that, and he puts a Q in a word that it doesn't belong. Now the only people he's following are other AI accounts, like this one. Just some super creepy stuff. And I'm not telling you guys I know anything. I'm just trying to help you piece together. Something's going on that's way bigger than anyone's paying attention to. So it isn't just like, this is the diet woke take. Okay, the diet woke take is they just came up with Q, so no one pays attention and everyone sits on their hands so they can roll out this morbid end of the world, World War Z, crazy evil takeover by force. Let's drop bombs. Everything is going to end. World War, Civil War. They're going to force inoculate you. They're going to kick in your door with the military. No, they're not. That is not what's going on. They're like, oh, that's all Q was, is to keep everyone compliant so they could get their new infrastructure, they could get their new vaccines and all that stuff. And here's the truth about the vaccines. And I don't care. I'm not going to censor myself and not say the freaking word vaccine. Vaccines are terrible for you. They're poisonous. They use aborted fetal tissues. So no, you probably shouldn't take murdered babies and shove them in your freaking arm. Moderna vaccine, that's modifying your RNA. Mod RNA. It's modifying your RNA. Okay, but the vaccine is not the final move. It is not the mark, right? It is just trying to predictively program and condition you to be ready to take the mark in the future. The mark will not come until the infrastructure is ready for the mark to come, right? That's what happens. And then they promise you peace and prosperity, and instant destruction comes. This is all to just see how ready people are and how much they will cut to the mark in the future. The mark does not come by force. You have to accept it. Okay, so what they're doing is, well, a ton of people don't want these inoculations. They don't want them. They already saw through them. But we're going to see how many of them cut to it anyway, right? So over time, people are going to do it. Oh, I can't get on a plane. I can't go to work. They're going to slowly and slowly keep going. And this will be nothing compared to the mark. Nothing. The mark will be way worse. You won't just not be able to go into certain stores. You won't be able to buy or sell anything. So they're just trying to see how many people are just going to cut to the mark because it's uncomfortable for them. And so this is just a trial run. That's all it is. They're not going to force you to take it. Nothing like that. But the Department of Defense did come out and say you're going to get a little card you have to keep in your wallet that said you've been inoculated. This is all just predictably programming you. This is all running logistics to see how much you will accept the future mark. That's what it is. Because say they get 70% of people to take the vaccine eventually. Just say they do that, right? That isn't what they want. They don't want 70% of people, dude. They want 100% of people. This is straight up because the freaking watchers came down. They bucked the system. They tried to get back up. They couldn't get back up. So they're like, we're taking everyone down with us. Ha ha, God. Look at your stupid humans. They're worshiping us. They're tricked by us. We've tricked them that they are gods. They're not going to praise you. They're not going to revere you. They're not going to be humble and search for the truth. We're taking them down with us. We're going down swinging. And if we do go down, we're going to go down on top. And they're holding on to this pipe dream that maybe they can throw a Hail Mary and pull it off in the end. Okay. Many of the people within the esoteric belief systems, I want to play a song for you, but I won't be able to. They're thinking that they can pull it off and attain immortality by going around God, by doing all these different transmutative practices. So that's what's going on. So I don't know, like if y'all want me to break down another video, I think there's another one that's a good one to break down. Y'all can hit me with a 1. If y'all thought that was a little bit too long, then I won't. But that's pretty much what I got for you. So there's something to the Austin Steinbart, dude. I could read the like, y'all can trust me, guys. I don't just tell you things that I'm making up. I told you with the whole Twitter AI thing, that part, that's really deep rabbit hole. I found out about it yesterday. Something's going on there for sure. That's what Starlink says. They're definitely bringing out quantum computing. They've had to set up an infrastructure that could handle that much of a bandwidth. So something's going on. They shut everything down so they could update, or really more so put in parts of the system that will be ready for the update. And now they've started straight up shoving it in your face. Great reset, great reset. Right, I showed y'all a few streams ago because Mr. Anderson sent it to me straight up. NASDAQ, Times Square, New York tells you we support the Great Reset. Great Reset, Great Reset, Great Reset. They're now that they've gotten it close to time, they've started rolling it out to subliminally get you ready for it. Okay, so all you people that you think that Trump's legit, what are you talking about? Like, please chill. Please, light isn't light. It's just masquerading as light. The Q board has constantly said dark to light, dark to light, dark to light, dark to light. So everyone thinks they're woke because they see through Q and they're like, oh, well, it's not real. It's just a military operation or whatever. And they just want you to sit on your hands. That is just like this far down, dude. Like, come on. You're taking the bait, because when they do give you some little crumbs here and there about pedophiles, whenever they do reset the Federal Reserve and they erase the debt, whenever they do maybe even flip on inoculations, right? When they start doing some of this stuff that's going to actually be good, people are going to fall for it because they thought it's too good to be true. None of this will ever happen. So when part of it starts to look like it's happening, people are going to fall for it. That's why I'm making the stream. That's why I think it's very important. And that's why I get very frustrated, because some of the people that are smart and see through a lot of the deceptions, they're being lazy right now. They're being intellectually lazy, and they haven't even looked into the depths of this at all, right? And then the Q followers, they're just like, oh, this is so stupid. This dude works for the CIA trying to discredit Q and all this stuff. It's like the Q-tards are some of the most unbearable people ever. They think they know everything, dude. They think they know everything. No, you don't. They're just like, I'm like, why did Trump get bailed out by the Rothschilds for $4.8 billion? Why does he keep getting the Tree of Life award? Why is he such a creepy little grabbler? Why did he do Operation Warp Speed? And of course, abortions come from, vaccines come from aborted fetal tissues. And you're like, oh, he's the best president against abortion ever. He just now expedited the manufacturing of a freaking vaccine that modifies your RNA, and he put the military in charge of being able to facilitate and administer it, and he's constantly on the news talking about how good it is and how safe it is, and it comes from aborted fetal tissues. Okay, he got bailed out by the Rothschilds, dude. He got bailed out by the Rothschilds. He gets Tree of Life awards. He cucks to the same state of Israel that every other politician ever has. Okay, this dude doesn't care about you. He was written in the script, and of course, with his ego, he took it. He gladly took it, and it wasn't even an option. He was born into this. Okay, he was born into it. It was known for a long time that this was going to be his role, and he got a good role. He got the role of the hero. You know, Bill Gates is supposed to be see-through evil. That's part of the plan. Now, some of the people that are lower on the hierarchy, like Bill Gates, is very low, right? You know his name. Okay, like they really are evil. They really do think that they have a lot of power. Like that's the whole thing. There's the dark and light path. And if you don't put it together, it's just like how a bunch of Masons don't know what's going on, right? That the Masons are cutthroat. The Brotherhood, they can't come tell you all the secrets because that means you aren't ready or you're not supposed to be part of the real secret boys if you don't put it together. So whenever you do the ritual Mr. Anderson was talking about where you imitate the sun going around the earth, they don't care if you can't put it together. Whenever you go to the mock sacrifice in the third ritual and then you come up out of the casket mocking the resurrection of Yeshua, they don't care if you can't put it together. Whenever God means Gadriel, if you can't put it together, that's your fault. If you can't put together that the earth is flat, that's your fault, right? It's the same thing here. If you're one of these little evil people that you think you're in the elite, but really you're just a puppet, you're very low in the hierarchy, if you can't put together what's going on and you don't understand how to get to the point of achieving duality and all this stuff, then whatever, they leave you out to dry. They eat their own. They don't care about the small people. Some of these evil people that have gone down the dark path, they'll just be exposed, and they don't care. They don't care to cast out their own people. If you think that nothing's ever going to happen, you need to stop just chugging black pills because you don't know how this works. It's going to masquerade as light. It comes under the peace and prosperity promise, not like, oh, I'm going to kill you. You better comply promise. So please stop with all of the, oh, man, it's all over. It's all so evil, and oh, there's going to be a world war. We're all going to start starving in January. I had someone say it to me, like, no, that's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen. As you can see, I might get a little worked up about this because it's very frustrating. People aren't seeing the psyop, and that means if you don't see it in time, you may fall for it, right? Everyone thinks that they've seen the psyop because they don't fall for Q. They don't understand it, bro. It's way, way deeper than that. I never looked and see if y'all wanted to see anymore. I got a couple ones. All right, I'm just going to do it anyway. I guess it's my channel. So I think if I can see, his channel was deleted, so I have to see if one of the ones that I think are real important. Let's just break this one down. So, guys, everyone obviously knows what's up with the freaking Space Force. I mean, it's just completely stupid, but let's just check it out.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Space Force. But before we do that, I wanted to address a few other things first. The first of which is the coronavirus. Lots of people have been asking me what the deal is with that. And I can't say much about it at the moment. But what I can say is that DIA is currently in the final stages of suffocating the royal death racket. And as that evil monster dies, it's going to thrash around and try to take as many innocent people down with it as possible. So while I don't necessarily think that the virus is something you should be panicking about, I do absolutely recommend that everyone follow the official instructions and do not leave your home unless absolutely necessary. For the next few weeks...
Like the reason is because they're setting up the infrastructure. So he just now said, like, they're obviously politicizing it and blowing it out of proportion, right? That's the diet woke version that's being politicized. But make sure you follow the instructions because they're setting up Starlinks. They're working out the kinks, right? They're setting up all of this different infrastructure with towers. They're setting up these quantum computers, these Large Hadron Colliders all over. Of course, they're not shooting material particles at each other. That's just stupid. But the point is they're setting up this you have to have a huge infrastructure to maintain the energy excess if you're going to use quantum computing. And you also have to keep them in very cold climates, right? And so they're setting this up all over the world to create this major artificial intelligence, right? But it's going to be encompassed within a figure. And then the Luciferian spirit will possess it. So he's going to make himself a superhuman.
DIA is currently in the final stages of suffocating the royal death racket. And as that evil monster dies, it's going to thrash around and try to take as many innocent people down with it as possible. So while I don't necessarily think that the virus is something you should be panicking about, I do absolutely recommend that everyone follow the official instructions and do not leave your home unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah, because it could get so bad when we take out the bad guys. No, it's because they're setting up the infrastructure. Very good with this guy might not be very good at speaking, right? He can't speak live or whatever, but the script that the guy is propagating is very well written. It is. You just have to be honest. It's well written.
For the next few weeks at least. I know it sucks. I hate being cooped up as well. But please just take my word on this one and stay home even if you aren't afraid of coronavirus. I also recommend, if you can, that you buy some Bitcoin or Ripple. Because financial markets are going to be in for a super rough ride here as the storm enters its
Oh,
house.
look, even this guy knows you should get Ripple. I told you guys. Some people listen to me. Now it's up for super high. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any super chats because I like to throw them on the... All right, we're good. I didn't miss any. Yeah, he's gay. Well, he had a wife, and she's attractive, but they got divorced. And, yeah, he's definitely giving me a freaking sodomite vibe. That's for sure. Let's get back to it.
Stage. I'll elaborate on that in a future video. Moving on, I'd like to say great job.
Yeah, Ripple is the company that owns XRP. I saw someone ask. Buy low, sell high. Get out once you make your money and turn it into real tangibility of wealth.
That you buy
meaning land and water and animals.
some Bitcoin or Ripple. Because financial markets are going to be in for a super rough ride here as the storm enters its final stage. I'll elaborate on that in a future video. Moving on, I'd like to say great job with the Datto blockade, everyone. Those corporate
No one
have
cares.
this intense pressure up on Datto. It's really costing them a lot right now. So question.
I guess some of y'all don't know this stuff, so I'll tell you. So Datto is this publicly accessible company that will store data for you. They promise that it's super private and encrypted. They'll never look at it. Well, he stored 55,000 Hillary Clinton emails. That wasn't actually 33,000, but that's the dark's number. So they told you that it was 33,000, but really it's 55,000. And this dude stored them all on there, but then they decided to look into them and not give them back to him. So now he's has to get them back because they breached their laws. So then he told people to call them all, to call and text them and say, give Austin his stuff back, give Austin his stuff back. Well, then the FBI arrested him for harassing a company. So didn't arrest him for freaking claiming to be a federal agent, which is a crime, or for outing and doxing all these medical records, for doxing different Air Forces and Air Force bases and their computer systems, but for harassing a company. Right, this is all script to show you the FBI is looking real desperate to go get this guy because he's helping lead the draining of the swamp, and the FBI is the swamp. It's all script, it's all psyop, and I'm helping break the spell for you guys.
You just kill everyone that gets in my way like a maniac? Because that's how my predecessor did things. So try to have a little perspective, please. Next up, I wanted to clarify some spy lingo for you. The difference between agents and officers. So you all know, I'm not a DIA officer. I'm a DIA agent.
Oh, this is boring. I'm sorry if y'all were interested. I thought that was incredibly boring. Here you go. We're gonna skip through this one. This one's super long, but
Welcome everyone to Black Ops 101. Today we are going to be discussing covert operations and exposing some dark secrets about the CIA. Going to go through lots of material today to try and paint you the big picture of the conspiracy that Q is designed to get rid of. In this episode, I will be explaining how the CIA uses terrorists and criminals as assassins, how they fund Black Ops almost exclusively with heroin and human trafficking.
this is all true, right, guys? This is all true. So you got to cut the QAnon people a break. Like, I get it. They're super freaking annoying, bros. Please stop being a Q-tard. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. Like, please stop. Just stop. We get it. You think you're woke. Think you're a special boy. Just stop. Okay? Because y'all are coming from a good-hearted place. Women are more susceptible to it, right? just being bluntly honest, because emotion overrides logic. And that's why they hit you with the save the children thing. Okay. But like what he just said is true. The CIA does do their funding with drugs. And then in case you guys didn't know, the black market of drugs is 5 times. It is worth 5 times the entire legal economy. So Vietnam, they've got the little grabblers, right? The Jesuits and whatnot. They ran out of their opium supply. That's what Vietnam was about. Gulf Tonkin, declassified, false flag. We all know that, just to start the war, because they had to go to the Himalayan foothills to get a new source of opium, right? We all know about the CIA. We all know about Bill Clinton trafficking cocaine when he was the governor through a certain Air Force base. We should all know this, right? So what he's saying is true and verifiable, and that's the best lie. It's with truth.
How John McCain was the secret kingpin, how the corrupt news media has always turned a blind eye, and how CIA Black Ops enabled a bunch of worthless European royals to conquer the United States. Our first topic for today is assassins. Assassins have shaped much of world history, from ancient times to modern politics. They've been used to provoke wars, stage coups,
All right, guys, I'm going to try and freaking double time this or something, bro. This dude is just getting on my nerves. I don't even know how to do that. Here it is. Let's try this.
fail competitors, and suppress or steal scientific innovations. Whether they care to admit it or not, every leader of every country has assassins they can call if they need to. But no one has more assassins than the CIA and MI6. The first thing any assassin needs to be successful is a good cover or a good disguise. Freemasonry is one of the oldest forms of cover for assassins. Back in the day, cities were much smaller and nobody except rich people and royals really traveled, meaning it was really hard to go somewhere new without being immediately noticed and talked about by everyone. So in order to get access to foreign targets, it was easiest to use Freemasons as cover. Expert stonemason subcontractors who traveled together wherever their building skills were needed at a given time. While Freemasons...
Oh, Aryans. So yeah, the Masons are just low level. I broke that down for you in the Jesuit order stream.
Masons still exist, and some of their symbols are still used as signals by British and American intelligence services. They are rarely used as actual cover anymore. For most of the past century, American assassins used diplomats, aid organizations, and religious missions as cover. That's why the CIA is organized.
Oh, did y'all see that? What was that? Y'all saw it. It was a sexagram.
Rarely used as actual cover.
Oh, actually, this is the pentagram with the all-seeing eye. This is dark. Over top of it is light. Illumination.
Cover anymore. For most of the past century, American assassins used diplomats, aid organizations, and religious missions as cover. That's why the CIA is organized under the State Department. University professors, multinational corporations, and touring musicians have also been used as cover for intelligence operatives throughout our nation's history. But with the advent of smartphones, social media, HD video surveillance, and AI, these covers have become nearly impossible to pull off. That's why intel agencies have shifted to...
All right, I'm sorry, guys. I can't listen to Sodomite very much, man, so let's skip a little forward. I mean, I'll show y'all where y'all can find it if you want to go listen to it. You need to watch it with discernment, or just don't freaking watch it.
To tee off on each other's quote-unquote problematic domestic political opponents. Problematic American leaders like...
Here you go. Assassinated by M16. Oh, was he? This dude was a sodomite, and that assassination was fake.
President John F. Kennedy.
Oh, this dude was also a sodomite. I'm not going to lie, he was kind of based. Malcolm X was kind of based. I'm sure there's something gravel that we don't know much about, though.
Attorney General Bobby Kennedy, and civil rights leaders Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr., and problematic Anglosphere leaders like Australian Prime Minister Harold Holt and British MP Joe Cox, to name just a few. So that's a little bit about cover. Now on to funding sources. Throughout history, opium, aka heroin, has been one call it.
All right, guys. Yeah, that one's no good either. Sorry, I just can't do it. So I tried, guys. But so he breaks down a bunch of the lies to you. So if anybody's got any questions, what they think, hit me up. I'll answer them. And then we'll do some housekeeping, and I'm going to get out of here. So very simply, Q is not something as simple as to just completely hand-wave dismiss. It is, of course, a military operation, but it's much bigger than the military, much bigger than the government. Our government is just a corporation. It's a Jesuit corporation. That's why I showed you guys this and the other stream. All right, like this goes way back. The Jesuit war rooms, Villa Farnese, an infamous Jesuit family. That's what the Pentagon is. It's a Jesuit war room. America's just a corporation for the Jesuits, right? They tie back all of these esoteric beliefs, especially the Jesuit caves and how they have Egyptian mythology, Buddhist mythology. They're not mythologies. And that's what they tie all of this back to, is an esoteric Gnostic belief system that they're the special boys, okay? QAnon is much deeper than people think it is. Hasn't even started. So if you think Joe Biden's going to be president, I couldn't disagree with you more. That would be the worst thing that they could do. I'll be honest with you. I hope Joe Biden is the president. I hope I'm wrong and that Joe Biden is the president. Y'all may not understand, but I hope that happens because you don't pick the president. The presidents are selected, right? Right. So ever wonder who's a president? If we're not electing them, that means that they selected it. That's what they did. Okay. So that's what they always do. So the election is not real in the sense that, well, for one, they just give you two options that they picked, like they already picked both of them, right? And everyone knows that. Red and blue makes purple. Purple's the color of royalty. They're laughing at you. The votes are really counted on the local level, certainly not on the grand scheme of things. It's all an illusion. It's an occultic ritual about Osiris. That's why you cast your vote, and it goes all the way through Christmas, which has nothing to do with Yeshua. It's about the birth of Nimrod, and which is one of his other names, Osiris and Apollo. I broke all this down for you guys a couple days ago, right? So that's what the election is. It's just a ritual. That's all it is. But this is about to get crazy. So they're gonna come out and they're gonna flip the election, dude. They're gonna show that not only did Trump win, bro. Now this could go a couple ways. He might get just enough states. It could go three ways. States flip, but he doesn't quite win. I think that's the least likely. Okay. States flip, he gets just enough to win. Possible. Most likely is when it's all said and done, Trump landslided. It was a landslide victory. He won most of the states. He didn't win California, but he got way more votes in California than has been given to a Republican in many years. It will be a landslide. That's the first part of the psyop, is all the people to have to step back and be like, whoa, this much of the country supports Donald Trump, because they want everybody to support this operation. And they're going to start hitting you with all of these things, these diet woke. The fact the CIA sells drugs is very diet woke, okay? Another thing to keep in mind. He points out that the Mason's number is 33. This has everything to do with Yeshua, right? An inversion of Yeshua, right? That's what 33 is so important. And of course, I actually misspoke in my Nimrod, I guess it was the Mark stream. He was 2/3 God, not human. I kept saying that he was 1/3 God. They said that he was 2/3 God, right? Well, that's 66.6, right? And you have your 33 left. So 33 is all about inverting and subverting the truth about Yeshua. Now, he said, my number or my symbol is not an owl, which again, Moloch, child sacrifice, illumination, they can see in the dark. That's why they sacrifice owls. That's why they worship the idea of owls, statues, Bohemian Grove, etc., right? But that's the dark side. You have the light side, right? So you have the pentagram, you have the sexagram. This is all about duality. Once again, that's what the whole entire trick is. They think they're special boys. They get the secret knowledge where you got to obtain duality, master duality, alchemy of oneself, transmutation to be the special boy, eventually attain immortality and full entire enlightenment. Now, he says that my number is not 33. My number is 17. Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. What is 17? What's the importance of 17? It's the amount of years that you have to go through for Jesuit training. So, have you ever heard him talk about the Jesuits? Of course you have not, because that's the final move. So that's why I mean my Jesuit order stream, right? Because it just goes through a process in different levels, and this is the transition from dark to light. And the Q board has said that over and over. I don't read the Q board, but like I've done my research, right, in a very effective way. It constantly tells you dark to light, dark to light, dark to light. Okay, so that's what this literally is. It's the transition of dark to light, but the light just masquerades as light. It's not truly light, right? It's Luciferianism. 17, once again, the Jesuit number, Phoenix. I'll just show you in case you guys have never seen it. So we got that crazy. Oh my gosh. Surely y'all have already seen this. But just in case you have not. This is what's going on right now. His number 17. His symbol is the Phoenix. Again, of course, rising from the ashes. Actually, the college I went to, that was our mascot. That was our mascot on the football team I was on in college. But here you go. This is from the 80s. Get ready for a world currency, a phoenix symbol that's coming from the burning money. This is just to throw you off. 2018 was all to throw you off. Okay. But this is where they started. This is where they started putting legislation into place. Like, this is when they started working on the new election system. So when people think this is all just a coincidence that this election thing's going on right now, that is laughable. And again, that dude just straight up shows you in the video I played you that, dude, they're going to rig the election. We're trying to prevent them rigging the election, right?
So
Let's see what this one is. I don't want y'all to watch it, so I'm just trying to break it down.
military intelligence. Officially, no. Normally, something like QAnon would be handled by DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency. But officially, the DIA is legally forbidden from operating on American soil. So how did this happen if they can't be involved? Well, the same way that all the other special access programs happen. They outsource to people like me. And when I say outsource, I mean they don't tell me anything and then just look the other way and let me run absolutely wild. Hacking and breaking everything in my path. It has been quite a past few years. Let's just say that. We're also self-funded, something I'm personally pretty proud of. I'll spare you the details.
Look at this little phallus symbol.
But we'll get into it another time. So next time, one of those kangaroo journalists or Q haters ask you why the White House doesn't formally acknowledge Q, politely inform those little silly gooses that it's standard procedure since the beginning of time for the White House not to acknowledge special access programs. I mean, it's like if they ever seen a Mission Impossible movie, unbelievable. So with that in mind, I'd just like to say that I, Austin Snyder of Chandler, Arizona, do hereby solemnly swear that, to the best of my knowledge, neither Donald Trump nor anyone in his administration, his business organizations, his legal team, his agents, officers, proxy, or subcontractors have helped me in any way. Scout's honor. I also hereby solemnly swear that, to the best of my knowledge, neither Elon Musk nor his businesses, agents, officers, proxies, or subcontractors have helped me in any way.
Elon Musk, bro.
Also Scout's honor. So while Elon does despise Queen Satan and her barbaric royal death racket with the white-hot intensity of 1,000 suns, he has never...
Come on, like, yeah, dude, yeah, because Elon's just such a good guy.
So proxies or subcontractors have helped me in any way. Also Scout's honor. So while Elon does despise Queen's...
Dude, this is such a short one. Let me change this. Settings, playback speed, normal.
Satan and her barbaric royal death racket.
Satan, but what about Lucifer?
With the white-hot intensity of 1,000 suns, he has never beamed me any clues with his Neuralink satellites, nor has he let me borrow any of the sweet 007 gadgets that he's developing for the DIA. I figured everything out completely by myself with no help.
What a sodom.
Honor.
Dude, this dude is so gay, bruh. Oh my gosh, bro. Maybe he is Antichrist. Antichrist doesn't like girls, but this dude's too much of a goober. He can't even talk without a script because the Antichrist has to be very charismatic. But if you don't know this guy's a sodomite, please stop watching porn. By the way, there's no such thing as porn that isn't gay porn. So, haha, joke's on you.
Neuralink satellites, nor has he let me borrow any of the sweet 007 gadgets that he's developing for the DIA. I figured everything out completely by myself with no help. Scout's honor. The fact that he posted his weird techno song at the same time as I posted my weird quantum video the other night is just a coincidence. Nothing more. I also wanted to say that I did know in advance that Space Command and Cyber Command were going to be wrestled away from the rest of the military and spun off into an independent space force. I also knew in advance that NASA and the FAA were going to be disbanded and rolled into there as well.
Wow, dude. Take it in.
FAA were going to be disbanded and rolled into there as well. But I had no idea. And just as shocked and surprised as you are that they chose me to be the first Space Force commander.
Yay.
Can you believe it?
You're such a special boy. You're such a secret king.
I honestly had no idea that was going to happen when I started this nightmare scavenger hunt / obstacle course from hell that I've been on these past years. I only started this wild goose chase because I wanted John McCaligula and his stupid pedophile cult gone. That's it. Didn't realize that I would have to overthrow the entire world government just to get a reasonable senator in my state.
Okay. I'm sorry. I can't do that anymore, guys. I love you guys, but that dude is a sodomite, bro. I talk with my hands sometimes when I get like going real fast, but I definitely don't do that. And I'm not like, yeah, I totally know what you mean. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, dude, the military. It's like, oh, it's so corrupt. The royal death racket. Like, who has to read a script? And why don't you put it closer to the camera so it's so not so obvious that you're reading one? But anyway, let's wrap it up. So, yeah, dude, QAnon is a psyop, bro, but it's much deeper than people are giving it credit for. Trump is going to moonwalk back in. He was crafting the world play to reset the infrastructure. It's all going to be reset. It's going to be reset by just exposing the depravity of the current system, the fraudulent nature of the current system. They're starting it with the election, right? So, like, a lot of people were already woke. They didn't trust the election, but the normie did trust the election, right? Now, even the normies are like, we can't even trust our election. This is going to be the reoccurring theme. The normies are going to be forced to at least become diet woke. They will, of course, use the Hegelian dialectic to guide them into the solutions that they have already crafted and predetermined. That's what it's all about. That's what's going on right now. Please catch up. Please realize that the whole entire QAnon psyop is deeper than people think. Okay, but it is indeed just a psyop. But you got to realize what's going on here. I think that this is the way I see it. This dude really is a part of the psyop. This dude really is. No one knows who he is right now, but they don't really care. That's kind of the way they wanted it, because they couldn't sell that he was part of going against the cabal and these big tech censorships. He couldn't sell that if his YouTube just blew up to like hundreds of thousands of people overnight. People would immediately become sketchy, right? Because you have to make it look real and authentic. They took his entire channel off. They arrested him. He's doing interviews from prison. When he says things, you can go fact check them often. But when it comes to the quantum computing and the capabilities of it, you cannot, because you cannot travel in time. He says that you can look back in time and necessarily travel it. There's no such thing as, they're probably going to roll out the alien propaganda here soon. Maybe Trump comes out and tells you about the aliens. I just saw someone in the chat before the show started. My boy Hawkins, he's not Sean Hawkins, of course. That dude is a secret King Gamma. But he's talking about like how Israeli government's coming out and confirming that there are intergalactic civilizations. They're going to start doubling down on the space porn big time, right? So like maybe ultimately, whenever that figure actually arises and they actually implement and roll out the New World Order, they come out and tell you the truth about the Earth. I don't know. I really don't know. But they may not. They may not. And we'll know for sure, in my opinion, once they roll out this Internet Bill of Rights and they remove some of the censorship, but Flat Earth keeps getting censored, then you'll know. Because if they let Flat Earth freely roam, right, then that means that they have intentions to absorb it. Nevertheless, NASA's going down. CIA is going down. The FBI is going down. Politicians are going down on both the left and the right. It might not be a ton of them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many there are. It just takes a few. When Trump comes out and he says something like human sex trafficking has been going on within our own government, the normie's mind is just going to melt and fall out of their head. Okay? And no one, even the leftists that are wildly crazy, are going to be mad that pedophiles get in trouble. Not even the lefties are going to be mad that he wants to get rid of our debt. Not even the lefties will be mad when college debt gets eliminated. They will, in fact, love it. That is how they get everyone. Whenever they get everyone to agree on something, that's when you got to pay attention. That's when they make their moves. They keep us divided until they come into a solution where they get everyone on the same page. Now they can't really pull the war porn and propaganda as much as they did back in the day because we've woken up to it, right? Because of the whole entire planes hit towers and free fall. Now we got to go get the people with turbans that are darker skinned and speak Arabic. And then we had our friends die. We were in that war forever. They kept dragging it out, right? We were fighting that war on behalf of Israel, clearly, and it benefited them geopolitically and not us. Someone please download this video after it posts. And there you go. We've woken up to that stuff. But what are they all pointing the finger at now, including Trump? Iran, Iran, Iran. I broke that down. The people removed because it directly translates to Aryan. They want to fully remove any idea that can track you back to understanding that the nobility classes of the blue-eyed people is what they say. So do they fake the alien invasion? I don't know. Do they say aliens coming that they're real? I don't know. I don't know if it'll be an invasion or they come peacefully. I would say peacefully would be the best case because then they'll just tell you all the secrets of history. They'll tell you, yeah, they were very advanced back in the day. We've been here before, whatever. I'm on the fence with the alien thing. I don't know. But will they have blue eyes? Will they have red hair? Will they have blonde hair? Have you heard all the fake stories about how aliens, that there's a race that have blonde hair and blue eyes and they're the benevolent ones? So, yeah, something's crazy going down. And he's telling you the intricacies of the QAnon plans for the future. And it is the Phoenix, which, again, I showed you the cover. The Phoenix, this is about this is not just about the money system, right? But, of course, the economists owned by the Rockefellers, right? Rockefellers own this magazine. And, again, they're lower on the totem pole. The Phoenix is resembling the reset of the whole system. And they say Trump is Q plus and all this stuff. This is a psyop going on. The part is there isn't some real movement. But, like, for example, the Austin Steinbart guy, he really might think he's helping. Or he may not. I don't know. He may be higher up. If he's higher up, then he knows he's deceiving. But if he's not, he may really think he's helping. Donald Trump may partially think he's helping. This is how the psyops work. You just let the actors think they're doing something. Like, I would lean towards Trump definitely knows that he's working for it. He knows that when he gets a phone call, he does what the phone call says. He's a bit of a loose cannon, right? And that's what people say. That's what people say is, I can't decide if Trump is really against us because he seems like such a loose cannon. Well, they just said, go do whatever you want to. You have certain guidelines, and when you get a call, you listen to us. So he just says what he wants to, right? He says it how he wants to, because this gives the illusion of authenticity. Same with all the anchors. Same with all the bankers, all the people against the bankers. Same with all the people that think they're going to drain the swamp. Same with all the people in the swamp. AOC is actually an idiot that looks like a goldfish, and is a human human personification of Dory the fish from Finding Nemo. She actually is really stupid. She actually thinks that she's really going to make some type of change because she's actually really dumb and she really thinks politics is real. Nancy Pelosi's an idiot. Joe Biden's really an idiot. Donald Trump is really a douchebag that just thinks he can do whatever he wants to. Ted Cruz is really a little grabbler that thinks that he's doing something on behalf of his misinterpretation of the scriptures. This is how it works. These people aren't all in on it. They have some cocaine addiction, some hooker addiction. They woke up one day and they had stuff with a 14-year-old, and now they're compromised forever, and they just do what they're told to do, and then they try, and then they believe that they're actually living in some type of reality. Most of the people believe the script. That's why the script works. You don't go around stretching yourself so thin that you tell every single person what the plan is. That's not how it works. So that's why this is going to look so real. Again, they're going to replace the media system. They're going to replace every single part of the infrastructure. It's very obvious. It's very see-through. If you don't see it, once again, I encourage you, stop watching Runaways get plowed on the internet. It's very desensitizing, and it's resulting in you not being able to see these patterns. You have to apply pattern recognition and stop underestimating your enemy. If you think your enemy is so stupid that they just use Bill Gates wearing a sweater, who just has something to do with computers, all of a sudden he's a health advisor for the entire world. If you think they're so incompetent that they hope you don't see through that, you're underestimating your enemy. That's all you're doing. If you think that they're so incompetent that they're going to double down with CNN and MSNBC and Fox News and all these mainstream media stations that no one trusts anymore, and they're going to use it anyway, you're underestimating your enemy. These people are very competent. They're very meticulous. Look at how long these plans have been going on. They effectively removed an entire group of people in their entire history. They removed Tartarian Empire, which is in modern history, but their architecture was still all around you, and people still have no idea who that is. These people are not incompetent. They're just crazy psychopaths, okay? So stop underestimating your enemy. They're going to coax compliance. The left is not a threat to them. The right is, because they know how to actually load magazines, okay? They actually know how to defend themselves. They know how to maybe regulate a militia. So you don't want to fight them. Operation Garden Plot, the military ran logistics. They can't take us over by force. They're going to coax compliance. That's what this all is. It will be under the illusion of good. Again, dark to light. Not to get too reiterative, this is deeper than just handwave dismissal in entirety. The same goes for the Austin Steinbart, metrosexual, little sodomite, graveler, secret king. Okay, there's something more to it. So there you go. There's my take. Hopefully I broke the spell down good enough for you. If you got some questions, hit me. I bet that goldfish could battle the vacuum of space or something. Let me go check out D-Live. I'm not trying to leave y'all hanging. Okay, I'll see how it plays out. I'm just trying to understand that your info is apparently true and others not true. Why is that? I don't know if you're talking to me, but I'm just giving my opinion, man. This is my channel. Redford Bear, thanks for helping get rid of some of the Secret Kings. Maximum Decimus, very, very, very nice, Austin. Thank you, man. Thank you for the 1,000 lemons. I don't know why it doesn't show me people's name. I'm sorry, it just doesn't sound. That's just so weird. But Alberta Bear, I remember your name. 100 lemons, thanks. Kyle, thanks for 1,000 lemons. I think I should know your name, but I keep forgetting. But thank you for the 1,000 lemon, the 1.2 thousand lemons, the 1,000 lemons, and the 100 lemons. Much appreciated. Thank you for the 57 people joining on D Live. Please, everyone, go make a D Live and follow me on D Live in case they kick me off for streams like this. If you want me to keep on bringing in raw information, you gotta support what you like or it goes away. Let me go double check on the. Make sure I didn't miss the super chats. And then we're going to wrap this up. Dude, the quantum system, man. The quantum system is getting set up all around you. I got some other things that I'm going to talk about. I don't want to get too much into. I'm already limited on monetization on this one. What a joke. The stream's not even over yet, you little crabblers. Here we go. Highway Hermit. BitChute, do you have it? I don't have it yet. I will be getting one soon and uploading all my videos on there. Certainly, if I ever had to go to D Live, that's what I would do for sure. But I do not have one yet. I'll be setting one up this week. I'm hoping that I'm getting the proper. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Highway Hermit, thank you for the $10. It's much appreciated. I'll be getting a BitChute soon. I'll keep you all updated. No Curve, $10. Loving the streams. Thank you very much, bro. Much love. Appreciate the support. Read out Get Strecked earlier. Grabble for your babble. Thank you very much. $20 super chat for your support. Much appreciated. And Chainsaw Cat. Amazing how deep the deception goes. God bless, brother. Thank you very much. Much love for the $5 super chat. I appreciate the support. It helps a ton. Certainly when my company is getting dismantled. You're the 4th highest streamer on D Live right now. That's pretty cool. Wow, YouTube doesn't send me notification, and I missed a lot of this live. Yeah, they stopped sending everyone notifications a couple days ago. Is what I hear. I sent a super chat, but they won't let me from Guatemala. It's all good. No worries. Isn't that Lighthouse supposed to start soon? It is. Hopefully it does. Sweet. Thanks. Recent subscriber. You rock, Austin. Thank you. So let me check out. Yeah. Of course, I have a Cash App, and I have a PayPal, which they kicked me off of PayPal as soon as I made a YouTube channel, but my homie helped me out. So that's probably the best way anyway, because the grabblers take a third of your money, and it makes me feel bad. I had a shout out a Cash App from last night. Matthew Martin, thank you very much for the $25 on Cash App. It's much appreciated, my man. Go over here to PayPal. Oh, wow, $70. Wow, dude, thank you very much. That's crazy, bro. From Kevin Su Fakagawa. I thank Yahweh, Abba, Yeshua, Lord and Savior, for all that I am and all that I have. Thank you for all that you do and are. Also, I'm assuming you want me to read this out loud, bro. Also, arrange and record hymns for church, and I'm happy to record backing tracks. I mainly do piano, band track backgrounds for your songs. I'm so happy to send sample music so you could get a sense of how I compose, arrange, and record. God bless, Kevin. Yeah, for sure, dude. What's it at Proton Mail, dude? Send me the tracks. Sounds awesome. Thank you so much, bro. That's incredible. It helps me out a ton. Gave me some chills there, bro. So thank you very much. It's very much appreciated, bro, for real. And yeah, just email me, man. We got Mike Sweeney and Samuel Weissman that both jumped on Tier 1 Patrons. Thank you very much for the support. It's much appreciated, my man. If you ever need to reach me, message me on there. I check it every day. So sweet, dude. Thank you, guys. Y'all are the best. And it helps me out a lot. So I can invest time into doing this stuff. So are you putting In the Field on Spotify? That track is awesome. Don't even know how to do that, but I'm down. I want to I did that on those headphones and just one took it. I would rather like maybe make it a little bit better production, but thank you, man. So yeah, streams I got coming. The calendar one, I'm really trying to get to the bottom of that, and it's hard to juggle everything I got going on, but I got you on that coming because that's a good topic. We got the Matrix Decoded coming. I really just have one major piece that's going to help explain it. I still have to watch it. So not going to rush that one, but we have that one coming up. Clash of the Titans stream coming up. Should be interesting. I think we have a couple more. I'll have to start typing them out. But if y'all have any good ideas, oh yeah, the transition and the manipulation of the character that is Enoch. So there you go. We're gonna have some Enoch streams coming on whenever Miggy's got free time down to do it. We're gonna set it up, same thing, Discord, a bunch of people talk, or we're gonna try to limit how many people can jump in there and become contrarians and try to debate. So yeah, that should be cool. Got those coming too. So a lot of content coming, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody kicking it. Dude, seriously, watch The Matrix. I'm going to watch it. I've already broke the spell, though. I've never heard anyone else break the spell either. It's crazy. But we're going to break the spell, bro. So, yeah. There's an overarching spell that's right in front of your face that no one saw. And I haven't even seen it, and I saw it. So, that's pretty crazy. How do we navigate this? Get right with Yeshua. Yeah, I'll finish with that, man. Like, I'm not a big, preach to people. I'm not big on churchians. I've seen some in the chat, some in the comments. I'm trying to say the Apocryphal were never part of the scriptures. Well, King James Version literally had that in the original version of King James. And, of course, who is King James? He called himself the Vicar of Christ, and he wrote a book about demons. And Yeshua literally referred to Enoch as scripture. And you know what I did? I fasted and I prayed about this. So I would encourage everyone to do the same before preaching down to other people. That would be great. Yeshua literally referred to it as scripture. Jude, the next to last book in the Bible, it's the letter of Jude, a single page. It says, as Enoch, the seventh from Adam, prophesies, and then quotes the book of Enoch word for word. Well, where did he prophesize it? He was the first scribe. Jubilees removed. Esdras removed. They removed a bunch of books, and this is just factual. So you should look into it. You have 66 books. Again, the King James Version. We have a whole bunch of King James only people, and then they talk about how they know the Apocryphal book isn't scripture, but the King James Version originally in 1611 had those books in there. So there you go. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and that's what made me not like Christianity, right? Is when people think they know everything. They're real dogmatic. They build all of their opinions on the doctrine of men. They trust men more than God. They believe whatever the men gave them or whatever the men told them. They couldn't answer my questions, and they're really judgmental and very dogmatic and think they know everything. And I think it's a very bad look. So I'm not trying to preach to you guys, but what I will tell you, look, man, you got to swallow your pride. I was very arrogant about this. I was prideful. I kept on trying to use my intellect to reason myself out of it. I'm like, oh, it's just my collective consciousness when I'm in a room and I feel something. Oh, it's not God, just collective consciousness. I never thought God wasn't real. I never could venture to be that stupid. It's just the necessary antecedent to creation as a creator. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that just literally makes no sense to ever be an atheist at all whatsoever. Of course, there's no such thing as an atheist, but we are coming against a lot of deception in the impending future. You're going to need the discernment that comes from Yeshua and from the Holy Spirit. So I encourage you to go just seek it, bro. Just go seek it. What's the worst that can happen? Right? Like the worst that can happen, you're going to go close your door, go into your room by yourself and talk to the ceiling, bro. Right? That's the worst that's going to happen. You're just going to talk to the ceiling, right? If you can't remove your pride or ego and be sincere, it's not going to work. But all you got to do is that right there. I think that's the most frustrating part. I can feel the frustration of God myself because I can never fully understand it, of course, but I can understand how he's frustrated because he says, seek and you will find. That's very simple. It's not complicated. He's not the author of confusion. He's not trying to trick you. It's right in front of you. Just seek it and you will find. That's it. People won't even seek it. They just won't even seek it. I think they know everything. So I'll wrap this up with, I think that this whole entire QAnon thing, the entire Trump psyop, all of this resetting of the infrastructure is setting the foundation for the New World Order. The reason that they propagated atheism is because you now have a void, you have an emptiness, you have a clean slate. So when they come in and show you some metaphysical fact or metaphysical feat, people will just absorb it because they have nothing there as a foundation. But ironically, some of the atheists will wake up sooner than some of these people that think they got it all figured out. For example, the people that say things like, all religion's stupid, which religion is stupid. I hate religion. Yeshua actually hated religion. That's the ironic part. He hated religion and constantly talked against the Sadducees and the Pharisees. Constantly rebuked them and called them out. And now we have people running around doing that very thing that they did in the name of Yeshua. What a clown world, dude. Like, what a clown world. Okay. Yeshua hated religion. He hated it. Religion is a belief system void of empirical evidence built upon the doctrine of men. Okay, so men have these doctrines and these interpretations of these holy scriptures, and they've twisted them for all kinds of things, typically for conformality, typically because they lack faith. This is just like where it says the earth's immovable and fixed, and they say, oh, that means fixed in orbit, going 11 vectors, right? They do whatever they can to twist God's words into man's words. It's ridiculous. So there you go. And of course, with the whole Antichrist thing, some of the scriptures were removed, including the apocryphal text and beyond that, right? And they surfaced in the Ethiopian canonized text, which Ethiopia is one of the first countries mentioned in the canon. So it's pretty ironic, right, that you just get to hand wave dismiss like one of the oldest canons ever for one of the most historically, spiritually important places in the entire world. But I don't really care. This is why I don't talk about it, because I'm not big on like dogma or churchians or anything like that. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. So, there you go. That's it. Oh, and of course, the point I was making is they did the atheist thing. None of these people, none of the grabblers, none of them, none of these elite, which they're not elite, none of them are atheists. You're not even allowed to be a Mason, for example, if you're an atheist. None of them. But they wanted you to be an atheist so you'd fall for the impending deception. Now, this is the impending deception. We're gods. We just have to reach a state of godhood in ourselves, enlightenment. We're all going to come together and unify under love. There's going to be one. We're all gods. We're all going to reach a state of enlightenment. Oh, astral projection makes me special. Oh, all this taking DMT makes me special. All these different deceptions. It's layered deceptions, right? And then that's what the New World Order underneath the central figure will be. And so it's not going to be hard to trick you if that's what you already think. And that's why they've put this everywhere. People are like, oh, religions are corrupt. They get to some of the principles of the Eastern Hemisphere, which is a stupid nonsense term. And they think, okay, wow, we figured it out. That's my take, right? I just encourage everyone to like step back, maybe swallow your pride. I had to do it. I fought it a lot. I understand the process. And all I'm doing is planting the seeds. I'm dusting my feet. I can't make anybody do anything. And I'm letting the dead bury the dead. I feel God's been speaking to me about that a lot lately, right? I just got to let the dead bury the dead, and they're dragging me down, and they're making me do things that I shouldn't be doing. I shouldn't be talking like. I shouldn't be losing my cool. So that's where I'm at. I'm just going to speak the truth the way that I see it, the way that I feel God has showed me, and then hopefully people need to hear it. That, I think everyone needs to hear it at different rates. But the one thing is, just because for 20 years you've believed a certain doctrine, that doesn't mean it's right, and that doesn't mean that you can't swallow your pride, right? You still need to just suck it up, maybe, because we're all learning, and we're supposed to be like children, and we're supposed to go read the scriptures after praying, and let him guide us with the interpretation. Not like, oh, well, this says this, but my preacher said this, so let me bend it, and then let me add like words and scriptures to it, and there you go. There's my take. I hate to end it on all of that, but I mean, sometimes you got to say what you feel led to say. So there you go. And yeah, this is all setting up the infrastructure change. So like, get right with Yah, get right. Prep in the sense of you want to be self-sustainable, right? And you want to have like I'm not telling you like the world's about to end tomorrow, bro. Like I'm not at all. I don't think that at all. I think that this is just the beginning of setting off the infrastructure change. And they had to make things look real morbid and crazy and get you to stay inside while they set it up a little bit. And then they're going to come out and show you light, like, oh, right. And then everyone's going to be like, oh, wow, they're going to eat it up. So there you go. There's my take. Much love, everybody. Thanks for kicking it. Let me go hit y'all with the chest. Last time I put more than I even got, but who cares? No, I didn't, maybe. All right, here we go. Releasing the chest on D-Live. So thanks for kicking on D-Live. Much love. Please go follow on D-Live, even if you just make an account on a computer or just whatever. You can also download an app. That way, in case I do get kicked off, you'll know where I'll be. WitsitGetsIt on D-Live. Description's in the link. If you would like to support the channel, links in the description, Patreon, PayPal, XRP, Cash App. Thank you again for all the super chats. Thank you for all the lemons. 2, 1, bang. Lemons being distributed. Thank you again, Redford Baird. You are awesome for helping me with the moderation. Thanks to all the mods in the chat. You are the best. I'll catch up with y'all tomorrow. I'm not sure what the stream will be about, but, I'll try and make sure we bring some gravy. So, yeah, like I always say, unplug from the box. It's a metaphorical, ideological box that keeps you plugged in, incapable of seeing what's actually the bigger picture, right? And then again, the weak-minded people always get together with mob mentality and they throw rocks from the sidelines trying to attack the stronger people. Take pride on it. Take pride in it. Wear it as a badge of honor. Don't ever back down to societal ostracism because that's weak and that's lame. So much love. Peace.
Geopolitically, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting steady high, steady sipping pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force a misinfo that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature to mean extorted it. They forging it. If news ain't good informants who informing them, there's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this: we courting ships, important gifts. Of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informant this, informant this. It looked like we were snoring tricks. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting steady high, steady sipping pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?